This lane, it says the
legacybox.com/radio.
You know it, right?
Limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/radio for 60% off. Legacybox.com/radio.
Chicago and WCFS-FM and HD1 Elmwood Park, Chicago.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Southwest Side Motel is being transformed to help the homeless.
The Aloha Motel on the 8500 block of South Cicero is being converted to what's being called the Cicero Avenue Transitional Shelter.
Oh, they filled it. I wonder why.
They'll have support services for care, finding a job, and getting
You're laughing, right?
finances. $15 million in private and government money.
That's kind of funny, right?
Yep. Beds Plus that allowed them to buy the motel and renovate it. Cisco Colo, News Radio 1059.
You want some?
58, time to check in on the road. Traffic with Neil.
That's funny, right?
Again on the westbound side of I-80,
We're laughing because they filled a pothole that I made some videos about.
That might be a good way to get around it, depending on where you're going.
Let's see if they fix these, Emmy. Watch. Look over here. Did they fix these? Let's see. No, they just fixed the one I put on the video. They didn't go through the whole road, got it? Then now you know they were watching my video, right?
I don't know.
Look, these are all not filled. I figured a truck would come here, right?
He's coming in about 40 minutes to the Kennedy
Whatever.
Cook Road. On the Kennedy inbound 1 hour, 45.
Funny.
You'll save about 3 in the
Funny
express
man.
lanes. The Eisenhower out 45 to Manheim, an hour 5 to the Jane Addams, about an hour 10 to get in.
Funny.
Stevenson out 1 hour and 3:55, about 45 inbound.
It's a big pothole right there, huge one.
18 minutes in. Next reports at 408 News Radio 1059 WBBM.
For the rest of this afternoon, sunny, a little chilly, at least along lakefront and downtown. Temperatures only in the 40s. At O'Hare, we've got a high of 56, 47 tonight. Much warmer tomorrow. Could get an afternoon thunderstorm, a high of 76, 53 now at O'Hare at 3:59.
That's right.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's News Traffic and Weather Station. News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
Guardian General filling Chicago's potholes says crews are rolling out to get those craters under control. By political editor Jeff Buckles.
Investigators searching for a suspect after the bodies of 6 dogs were dumped on the roadside in the south suburbs. Plus, uncertainty surrounds U.S. peace talks as Iran says it's not sending a delegation to negotiate in Pakistan. The latest coming up from CBS News.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Modest losses on Wall Street today and worries about further peace talks in the Middle East. The Dow down just 5, the Nasdaq down 64, the S&P lower by 17.
53 degrees now at 4 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Wendy Gillette. U.S. negotiators are scheduled to head to Pakistan for talks with Iran, but Iranian officials may not show up. CBS's Olivia Ronaldi from the White House.
Are these talks going to happen? Because the Iranian Foreign Ministry and their state media have said they're not going to Islamabad, Pakistan, that they won't be there for the second round of talks. And this comes after over the weekend, President Trump on True Social said Sunday morning that he was going to be sending representatives who would arrive there tomorrow evening. Well, tomorrow evening would be tonight, Monday evening, and so far no one has left to our knowledge.
Tensions escalated over the weekend as Iran fired on 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces fired at and seized an Iranian tanker, claiming it had violated a U.S. blockade. 2 people are dead after a fight among young people turned into a mass shooting in Winston-Salem, North Carolina this morning.
Wow.
Police Captain K.J. Burns.
We can confirm at this point that there was a total of 7 individuals were struck by gunfire. Detectives are actively working to determine each individual's role in this incident.
A tourist was killed at a famed archaeological site in Mexico.
Mexican authorities say a gunman opened fire at the popular tourist destination, Teotihuacan. A Canadian woman was killed and 4 others injured before the shooter killed himself. Mexico's president said federal and state security forces were being deployed to the site, and her administration was in touch with Canadian authorities.
CBS's Cammie McCormick reporting. Police say a Shreveport, Louisiana man shot and killed 7 of his own children and a cousin. He was pronounced dead after a police pursuit. Correspondent Jason Allen is there.
Authorities say the first 911 call came in at 5:55 in the morning from a person hiding on the roof of the house. while the suspect, later identified as 31-year-old Shamar Elkins, was inside. About 4 minutes later, dispatch was advised Elkins shot everyone at the home before going to another location.
The victims range in age from 3 to 11. FBI Chief Kash Patel has filed suit against The Atlantic after the magazine published a story that claims he has a drinking problem. CBS News has not confirmed The Atlantic story, which stands by its reporting. CBS legal reporter Katrina Kaufman.
There is a higher standard when you're a public figure, but they claim that there is actual malice here, which basically means that they think The Atlantic published this with knowledge that they were publishing false information. They did that knowingly, he said.
The Dow slid 4 points. This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? How is this possible? Great storytelling starts here.
Oh, come on.
Why? It's time for 60 minutes.
Going on right there. There's a driveway. You're standing in the middle of a driveway, lady. What's wrong with that lady? That was weird, wasn't it? She's right in the middle of a hospital driveway.
403 Monday.
People are starting to get bizarre.
Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in and joining us. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have 55 degrees, sunny skies across the board. We've got 55 at O'Hare, but a lot cooler along the lakefront where we're only seeing the 40s. The accurate 5-day forecast coming up at 4:15. But first, at 4, Chicago known for having 2 seasons, winter and construction, and as a sure sign that the cold is gone, the city is paving the way for crews to fix an unwelcome byproduct of spring. That's potholes. The story from WBBM political editor Jeff Buckholz.
Families can expect to see more orange cones, more crews, and more equipment.
Mayor Brandon Johnson joined city and community leaders near his home in Austin to formally kick off the start to Chicago's outdoor construction season.
That's a good thing, Chicago.
The city's plan under new CDOT Commissioner William Cheeks includes an aggressive plan to smooth out the ride for hundreds of thousands of drivers after a snowy winter and during a rainy spring.
Potholes have come to a lot extra right now.
Cheeks says he met with supervisors last week to come up with a plan to swarm pothole-ridden streets so they can be filled in quickly. He calls it wolf packing.
We can address higher numbers in certain areas, so triage here, move to another ward, triage.
The mayor says it's all part of the city's effort to continue a trend of lower fatalities on Chicago's streets.
We are making traffic safety a priority.
Jeff Buckholz, News Radio 1059, WBBM.
A disturbing case out of the south suburbs. Investigators are looking for whoever dumped 6 dead dogs along a roadside in Crete Township.
Authorities say the dogs were found March 3rd, stuffed inside plastic bags near Norfolk and Kings Roads in unincorporated Crete Township.
Showed clear signs of what could be dogfighting, and apparently they outlived their usefulness.
Will County State's Attorney James Glasgow says the pit bull mixes were killed, though their exact cause of death hasn't been released. Right now, there are no suspects, but Glasgow added,
But anyone who would do this to 6 living things is an incredibly dangerous person.
Will County Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and charges. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Governor Pritzker and others applauding a federal judge's ruling over the deployment of National Guard troops in Chicago.
Judge April Perry has dismissed a lawsuit filed by the state of Illinois that challenged President Trump's mobilization of National Guard troops to Chicago, ruling that the issue is moot. Perry's ruling confirms federal authorization for such deployment has expired and said, quote, things in Chicago are calm. They have been calm for many, many months. A statement from Governor Pritzker says the decision sides with our communities and slows the erosion of our democratic norms. While Attorney General Kwame Raoul adds it is absolutely clear the administration cannot federalize or deploy National Guard troops in Illinois. Andy Dane, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
No injuries after a transformer blows at the Plazinski Federal Building in the Loop. Fire crews responded to 230 South Dearborn, which is across the street from the Dirksen Courthouse, before 8 this morning and found the blown transformer. Fire officials have otherwise remained tight-lipped about the situation, but they said everything is under control. A famous boardwalk in Northwest Indiana getting a makeover.
Known for greeting visitors to West Beach, one of the most popular beaches at the Indiana Dunes National Park. The Dunes Succession Trail Boardwalk is getting replaced starting just after Labor Day this year. Northwest Indiana Times reports the nearly mile-long trail, offering views of Lake Michigan and Chicago's skyline at the top of its staircase, will be closed through the fall and winter months to open next spring. The park is also replacing picnic shelters at West Beach. Hikers will have to take another route to the top of the dune. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
A new Trader Joe's is coming to North Park.
The store is set to open in the Lincoln Village Shopping Center, according to 50th Ward Alderman Deborah Silverstein. Residents have been asking for a Trader Joe's since at least 2020, when West Ridge neighbors and business development officials petitioned Trader Joe's to open at the former Baker Square spot at Western and Touhy Avenues. The West Ridge Trader Joe's will be the 4th Chicago location to be announced since October. The alderman says this is still in the early phases and it will take some time before the store is ready to open. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
It is 4:08 now. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Let's head to the roads first. And Neil Fiorito.
A big backup continues on the Bishop Ford Freeway outbound from the Stony Island Feeder to before Sibley Boulevard, heading through the work zone, but we also had a crash that is now gone. It's out of your lanes, but about a 40-minute ride to 8094 from the Dan Ryan because of it. Inbound traffic on the 4, just a little heavy getting into the Dan Ryan. We still have a bad delay getting from the New Lenox area to Joliet on I-80 westbound, close to a 6-mile backup here on 355 to Chicago Street from that moment there at the Veterans Tollway to Chicago. Again, that's where the crash is. You might want to consider using US 6 or US 30 to avoid the delay. On the eastbound side of I-80, you have traffic from Center to Richards and then from Kedzie to the Tri-State. Further east along 8094 in northwest Indiana, heavy traffic westbound before Burr to Indy Boulevard and a delay eastbound between Kennedy Avenue and Klein Avenue. On the area expressways, the Edens outbound still looks good. Coming inbound traffic before Tower to Skokie Boulevard, then you're heavy again before Touhy to the Kennedy, about 40 minutes in. Kennedy out 27 to Montrose, you save about 3 in the express lanes. 45 to O'Hare, coming in from O'Hare into downtown's an hour 3. On the Eisenhower out 46 to Manheim, an hour 7 to the Jane Addams, hour 7 in as well. You're 38 minutes in for Manheim. Stevenson, if you're headed out to the Midway Airport exit, which is Cicero Avenue, 34 minutes to that exit, 47 to the Tri-State, an hour drive to 355 at about 45 in. Southside Expressways, the Dan Ryan 35 out, a little slower in the express lanes too, an 18-minute ride in from the merge into downtown. 57 getting out to I-80, a 5-minute delay. You're 20 minutes to drive out that way. DeSalvo Lakeshore Drive traffic northbound Roosevelt to Monroe, backed up traffic Navy Pier to Chicago Avenue, and southbound you're on the brakes, past north to Chicago through Graham Park and 53rd to Hayes. On the tollways, your biggest delay on the Tri-State South from Irving Park Road down to Ogden. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 418 News Radio 1059 WBBM.
For the rest of today, sunny, a little chilly with a high of 50 around O'Hare. At Midway, only 40s lakefront. We have 45 in Waukegan as well. Tomorrow, breezy and warmer with a high in the 70s. Market watch, the NASDAQ snaps a 13-day win streak. U.S. stocks close lower ahead of any type of ceasefire deadline coming up. It's 4:10.
It's amazing what a fresh coat of paint can do for a home. My Martinez here for CertaPro painters. They're the ones I trusted with my home, and I'm so happy I did. Each CertaPro.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday, 4:10 p.m. April 20th, 2026. I can't even describe the weather anymore. I got up early today and I wanted to go for a bike ride. I looked out the window and it was really sunny. It was beautiful. So I'm like getting out of bed and I said, you know what? Let me punch it into the computer what the temperature is, right? And it's at 30-something degrees. I'm like, yeah, I'm laying back down into bed then. By the way, I'm 58. I raised all my kids. I'm not rich. I'm so whatever. Let's just say this. I ain't got no responsibilities, so I don't, and I run my own business, which is SubX. Doesn't make money, but whatever. I mean, I got food on my table and a roof. So that's, if you hear me that I could do that, that's what I can do because I'm done. I did my jobs. I raised my children. All my children have jobs, right? They come in and out of the house every few years, whatever. I got 2 out of the house now, right? So that's the way it goes, right? I welcome my kids back and forth. It doesn't matter to me. They help out here and there. They help pay some of the bills, so they're cool. You know, but all my kids have full-time jobs, so I think I did my job for society, right? Isn't that our job as people, is to have families and then to pass on your whatever you have, and then to make sure that there's people that can do things in the future. Yeah, I don't. Maybe that gets us to our topic today. Like, why do they promote transgenderism? That they can't have kids. My wife's theory is it's a kind of a cleansing. She says the reason they do that is because they want to clean out society. We have a surplus of people. Now we're getting into a time of decay economy, right? Because we're switching to AI. So a lot of, let's see if there's any more news.
Each ward will have its own cleanup projects, and coffee and donuts will be served. In addition, a large recycling event is happening in Aurora on that same day. It allows residents to bring electronics to be recycled, including TVs, cable boxes, and laptops. Registration for the electronics recycling is required. They expect around 2,000 people to be a part of that. Earth Day is this Wednesday, and Aurora officials say this cleanup and recycling effort is a part of the celebration. Cisco Cotto, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A little chilly today, but warmer tomorrow. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up next. It's 4:13.
So our theory, or my wife's theory, and a couple of people I've talked to, is we always have these weird things that happen every so often, right? Like wars, pandemics, and all this. So one of the things is now is that we have all this excess surplus of people, and so now they do Ebola, they do COVIDs, then they do transgenders, then they do let crime happen, and it kind of cleans out surplus people, right? That's just a theory, right? Because of the different wars that happen over the years, right? You have people that have nothing to do, right? Because technology is changing, so they have to do something, right? They have a war, they have a pandemic, or they have some other things, right? So that's just a theory. That's all it is. So, yeah, I don't know what that has to do with 420. I guess, yeah, it's weed day today, too. So I don't know. I don't smoke weed anymore. So I don't do the pills or edibles or anything like that. So it is what it is. I done that when I was young. I'm done with that. I'm clean and sober for 30 years. It's like, yeah, I'm all right. I got plenty of other things to think about then. When am I gonna smoke my next weed, or why don't people like me when I walk around them and I smell like weed, right? I don't get that. It's like cigarette smoke. I used to smoke cigarettes too. It's like, yeah, all of that smells like, don't. I mean, I'm getting older, and I like to feel good. I like to look good, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's all right, but I mean, smoking weed and drinking and cigarettes and all of that, I did it before, and it's just like, think about it, and like, yeah, it's past. It is what it is, and I got other things to do now. You know, it is what it is. And my philosophy always is, if you want to do it, do it. That's everybody has their choice to do whatever, but don't bother other people with your stuff, right? I mean, there's plenty of places you can go do that. You got a place to stay. And even if you do it outside somewhere, don't do it where other people are, because not everybody believes in what you believe in. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what's happened to people. And then we can talk about love and moral development and religious development and all that. But let's just get back to one basic human trait. Do people really, are they either that selfish or they don't care about people? Which one is it? I mean, we went through that whole thing on the page. What was it, Saturday? Was it Saturday or Sunday? When did I put up the killers, right? The killer and the suspect, or the girl that was with the killer of Damian Gomez, the bicyclist? Right? You know, someone sent that to me. That was from a reader. Someone sent it to me. Said, hey, this is the guy, and that's the girl that was in the car. And he left her for dead, right? He crashed the car and walked away. So I put it out there saying, yeah, here's a suspect, and he left her. What's going on? And shouldn't the family say who got attacked by the family somehow, that she's a victim? And why like, really? You were the victim? You were in a car with the killer. I know. What are you talking about? Oh, they're like pretending that she was a victim somehow. I don't know what you're talking about. You were in the car with the guy that killed somebody. There's a cops there, right? I get it. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a beautiful Monday. It's sunny. So where was I? I was at when we posted the stuff about Damien Gomez, the 18-year-old that was killed by a driver and he walked away. So supposedly the girl he was with crashed through the windshield. First of all, why didn't she have her seatbelt on? Right? What was she doing with a guy driving around recklessly in the city, right? And I think it was at 1 or 2 in the morning. And what were you doing at 1 or 2 morning? And I think she's a high schooler. She's not an adult. So you're riding around in a car without a seatbelt with a guy that killed somebody at 1 or 2 in the morning. What were you doing? Oh, don't make her bad. I ain't saying she was bad. I'm saying, what were you doing? And then if you know the guy, if you're riding around in the car with the guy, why don't you say who he was? Say who he is. If you're not a victim, or if you're a victim, then you would say, that's so-and-so, right? This is his phone number. This is where he lives, or wherever. He's this guy, and yeah, I don't want to be associated with him. And you give up the name. He killed somebody. That's it. The dude killed somebody and walked away. That's wrong. That's all I gotta say. You can say it's ratting or snitching or whatever, and he's a killer, right? He killed an innocent guy. And what is that, right? Why would you protect somebody like that? I don't even understand that. You killed an innocent kid that was working. And you victimize yourself because you don't want to give up the name, right? Okay, I guess so. That's your thing, right? And yeah, so the reason I bring up that story is, are people that selfish? Or are they that disrespectful to others? I don't understand that. Where does that kind of a thinking, Ms. Zidor, where does that come from? That you don't care about, that's for sure you don't care about others. Because if you noticed they were attacking, that's why I blocked them, because I'm a little thick-skinned, but they started attacking our viewers and readers. They were attacking people that were commenting. I'm not going to stand up for that. People who come to my page for news and they make comments, or and then you start attacking them because they voice their own opinions. Yeah, get off. And then if you looked at their pages, they're drug addict, criminal, gangbangers. Somebody sent me messages that the girl is a gangbanger. They sell drugs. These are criminals, and they're criminal families. They hang with criminals. You know what? Let's go to court. Let's go to court. You can sue me for defamation. First, you got to be famous to be defamed. That's the first thing. Second, to prove slander, you got to prove that you're not doing any of the things that I say. So that means if we go to court, I'm going to have you drug tested. We're going to check all your tattoos. We're going to check your phones. Right? Why were you out at 2 in the morning with a dude that killed somebody without a seatbelt on? Let's take a toxicology test, right? I'm sure they got the toxicology test of the girl, right? They pulled her blood when she's in the hospital. I hope she recovers. They say she might be paralyzed for life. I hope she isn't. I don't wish bad on the people. I'm not saying bad, but why would you be so selfish that you don't think you should turn in the killer of a young man? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. Are you that selfish? And then try to be the victim in this thing. Now, you're not the victim. You're with the bad guy. And that makes you the bad guy. Unless you do something to show you're not the bad guy. I don't know. Maybe my logic is just old-fashioned. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe, I don't know what. I'm not that. I'm religious. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Bible. I don't go too much to church. But I believe. So, I'm not that religious where I'm going to throw the Bible at you. But really, I mean, so you think it's okay to kill somebody and not say who did it? And you were there, and then you say you're the victim of this person. So you think about the logic, and this is why I block these people. So their logic is this. She is a victim because she was paralyzed because she flew through a window of a car after he got in an accident, and he walked away. So she's the victim. But yet you won't give up the name of the guy that did that to you. So how are you the victim? I don't understand how you're the victim. If you're a victim, you say, yeah, he messed me up. This is his name. Go get him. He killed Damien and he hurt me. Yet they won't give up the name. All they had to do is put the name right on our page. Say, this is the guy. He lives at this address. The police should go get him. And that's all. Hey, that's it. You know he did something wrong. You know, you're not like doing something else that, oh yeah, he's doing this weird stuff that nobody knows. Everybody's seen it. It's public. We've seen the video. We know he's a criminal. We know he did it. You just got to say who he is. And the family refused. They kept attacking us, attacking our readers. I think on another thread, they set up a new profile, started attacking me there. Like, really? And then you spend all that time attacking people. So imagine that. You're with a guy that kills somebody, you get hurt, or your family member gets hurt, maybe paralyzed forever. You spend your energy saying that the person is a victim, and then you spend energy attacking people that say what happened is wrong. So you start to think like low self-esteem, that you think it's okay that you're hurt and you shouldn't turn in the person who hurt you or your family and killed another person. You don't think that's okay? They just had that shooting out in Sacramento. I put it up at a House Street. It was at a park. 100, 200 people. So I was just talking about the shooting out in California. It's the same concept, right? I don't know if you've seen it. I posted it up earlier. 100 to 200 people were at the park. A couple of bad things about that one. There's a shooting in Sacramento at a place called Howe Park, or Howe Street, in the park. First of all, the police let the gathering happen. Come on, man. You don't see 200-300 people there at night. So the police, here's the first problem. Police are allowing these things to happen, whether it's car meets, teen trends, gatherings at parks, smoking drugs in the middle of downtown, smoking drugs in cars. They're allowing these things to happen. I drive my car, I can smell the weed. I can see people drinking. You guys see it as we drive. That's why I do a live feed every day. That's the purpose of the live feed. I told you it started with migrants, to show people what's happening. I can say whatever I want. It doesn't matter what I say. It's what you see. You can see it. That's the point of the live feed. This is not recorded. This is not edited. It's what you see is what I see. It's at 4:25 p.m. It's April 20th, 2026. You're seeing it. I'm right now at Michigan and Harrison. You see what I see. You can check the bus number. Number one bus. The bus's number is 132. You can check that that bus was here at 4:25 p.m. Right here. You can check where that bus is on a bus tracker right now and see if this is a real video. You know, I like, you know, people say AI and all this. That's what they are. They're fake. Most people on the internet are fake. About 50 to 70% of them are fake. They do it for money. Because they're broke, deadbeat bums. They can't sell weed. They're too old to sell their asses. They can't steal and are too scared to be a criminal, a real criminal. So they prey on people on the internet. They sell crap. They make up stuff to try to be somebody, and that's the same point of the first concept, right? You have so low self-esteem that you do that? Don't you have that much pride in yourself, in your family, or others, that you would have a little bit of integrity? Look, I ain't nobody special. I live on the south side. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's not a new apartment. I drive beat up cars. My cars are more than 10 years old. I don't have no new clothes. The newest thing I have, shoes, and they're about a year old. I think my wife bought me some socks for Christmas. So the newest thing I have is socks. That's the newest thing I own, socks. I don't have a steady income. I make income off of SubX.News, off of ads a month. I get about $1,000 a month. Don't cover my bills. My wife works. She works, right? She helps support the family, right? My kids work. So what? That's what I'm telling you. It's my family. That's who I am. There's no secrets here. So why don't Why would you lie? Why would you make stuff up? Why would you harm people? Why would you hurt people? Why do you hurt other people? I get it if you want to hurt yourself. I get that. Now, you have your rights. People have the right to live their lives the wayever they want. We shouldn't judge people, whatever. But why would you then, if you do something to others, some kind of a thing that harms others or something that's going bad for somebody else, why wouldn't you fix that? You have that low self-esteem that you wouldn't do it? That was a Lamborghini there. Did you everybody see the Lamborghini? That's like a $500,000 car sitting right there, that black one. It's right there, that Lamborghini. This is where all the Chicago Firehouse, this is where all the sports teams come. At 4:30, we're going to put the news on and I'll change the topic. Am I wrong to think this way? I don't know, Ms. Zidor. Hey, what's up, Sharon? I'm talking about that weekend when we were going back and forth with that weird family justifying they were a victim. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sharon? You know what I'm saying, right? They started attacking all of us. I know they attacked you, then they attacked me, and like, wait, you're the victim? So who's the guy? So your daughter or your sister, your twin sister that you smoked weed with on that lady that was attacking you, she has all weed pictures and gangbanging on her page. She's a gangbanger. She's got weed and gangbanging on her page. Okay, whatever. You can be a gangbanging weed smoker. Who cares? I could care less. If you're not around me, I don't care what you do. But then you're attacking people about you're the victim and your sister's this victim and all that. Weird. That's weird. Go take care of your sister. Go to the hospital. Why are you spending time on the internet? If your sister is that bad shape in the hospital, I wouldn't spend my time. I wouldn't spend 1 minute on the internet. I'd be with my family member in the hospital every day, 7 days a week. You get where I'm going with this, Sharon? If your family member is in the ICU, where are you? I'm in the ICU 24/7. My child was in the ICU. He was born a preemie, 3 months. He was 3 months in ICU. You know how many times I was in the hospital in 3 months? Every day. Every single day. 7 days a week. As long as I could stay at the hospital and I didn't have to go to work, you know where I was? I was in that hospital. My wife was in the hospital. That's how I take care of my family. I'm not on the damn internet saying I'm the victim. That's weird. It's 4:30. I love you, Sharon. If your family member's sick, you're spending time on the internet saying they're paralyzed? Nah, you're in the hospital. Forget the people, man. All right, it's 4:30. It's good to see you, Sharon. Thanks for tuning in. Let's listen to the radio before I talk too much. I appreciate you.
17. I'm Tom Busby.
4:30.
We've got sunny skies, 55 degrees at 4:31. Chicago crews are just beginning their investigation into what sparked a fire that destroyed 3 homes on the city's west side this afternoon.
You seen it, right?
WBM's Jeff Buchholz reports from Fulton and Cicero.
Antonio Harris's family has lived in the wood frame house here on Fulton Avenue for more than 60 years.
Yours is the middle house? Yeah, burned it down.
He says he was in bed with his wife and grandchild when his wife smelled smoke.
I opened the door, it was a big cloud of smoke. The fire coming through the window, and I'm like, wow, we got to get out of here.
That fire was coming from the neighbor's house, 4 feet away. Harris and 5 members of his family went out the front door to safety, along with 2 cats and a dog. Then he ran next door to make sure the neighbors got out.
I didn't want nobody to get hurt, so yeah.
Authorities say the fire forced as many as 26 people from homes. No one was hurt.
That's all that matters. Everybody's safe.
But for Antonio Harris, that relief is tempered with questions about what happens now.
I haven't a clue. I don't have a clue yet.
We're in West Garfield Park. Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
A former teacher at a Joliet middle school faces several charges tied to what authorities described as repeated inappropriate conduct with his students.
Based on this investigation, trust was seriously violated in the most abhorrent fashion conceivable.
Joliet Police Chief Bill Evans announcing the arrest of 38-year-old Alex Butikofer, a former PE and health teacher at Aux Sable Middle School. He's accused of making what's described as non-sexual physical contact with one student and asking several others for their phone numbers and social media information.
When someone uses a position of authority in an attempt to create inappropriate personal relationships with students, that is not only unacceptable, but is also profound abuse of trust placed in them by families, schools, and our community.
Butikofer is also accused of sending inappropriate text messages to detectives posing as an Aux Sable student. He was arrested last week at a Yorkville McDonald's where he'd agreed to meet the teen for sex. Charges now include grooming and solicitation of a child. Butikofer was in his second year at Aux Sable and had previously worked at Hinsdale Central High School.
Something's going on. You seen that,
105.9
everybody?
WBBM.
Class back in session at a Central Illinois University after a faculty strike.
Professors are back in the classroom after reaching a tentative deal with the University of Illinois Springfield late last night. The walkout lasted 11 days and now shifts
go see
to a
what's
vote
going
by
on,
union
eh?
members later this week. If both
turn on the
faculty
radio.
and university approve the agreement, it would take effect right away. For now, the terms are still under wraps.
It's right here. Must be a fight.
Over
SubX.News, there must be a fight here at, I think that's Harrison here. Something's going on.
4:33 around the world. President Trump giving mixed messages on the path ahead for the war in Iran. Today, he insisted that he's in no rush to end the conflict, while also expressing confidence that peace negotiations
Something just
Iran
happened.
will soon resume.
Pakistan is moving ahead with plans for more U.S.-Iran
SubX.News.
so it's unclear.
Something's going on at, somebody look it up for me. 9th and State Street here. Something's going on. There's something going on here. What's going on, everybody? Anybody know?
Southbound from 55th and Ashland, bus 8119.
And there's police over here, too.
09271, 09271.
SubX.News. I'm trying to put on the radio, the citywide.
86 Platform check, Jackson, red line.
Well, FBI Director Cash Patel has filed
09275, 09275.
over a story about his alleged drinking and absences. He's seeking $215 million in damages, denying all parts of the article. It marks the second lawsuit.
Something's going on right over there. See that?
Drinking and partying behaviors.
Let's see if I can.
Singer David has been charged with the murder of a
I don't think I can go anymore.
last year. Los Angeles prosecutors said that the 21-year-old singer,
right?
whose legal name is David Burke, was charged with first-degree murder and the killing of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Here's LA Chief of Police Jim McDonald.
Ms. Rivas was a reported runaway from Riverside County. During the course of our investigation, detectives learned that she had been involved in
There's fire activity here. I'm going to try to put it on
when she was a minor
Citizen
and he
app,
was
right?
an adult.
David's lawyers maintain he's not responsible for her death. High meat prices have reportedly caught the attention.
It's over there in that building over there, it looks like. They're going into that building right there. You see that there? They're going into the Wabash and 9th Street building there. I'll throw it on Citizen app and see if there's anything going on. Yeah, they're going into the building. They're putting on their special uniforms or something.
4:36 coming up. Another look at your traffic, your weather, and your.
I'll put it on Citizen app.
When we're helped to fix a basement water problem, we get it fixed right.
See that over there?
Your home with the same care and attention we give our own. Schedule your free consultation today at uswaterproofing.com. US Waterproofing. A better basement starts with us.
Following is a paid political announcement.
SubX.News. There's fire and police activity over on Wabash and 9th. It looks like they're going into that building there on Wabash. It's the north. Looks like they're going into the north.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
on
big.
3. They are over there. And then the
Oh, it's a fire. 901 South State, but we're not in 901. That's Wabash over there, right?
You're welcome.
All right, guys want to take a walk over there, and let's go see what's going on, huh? There's the captain or something right there. Battalion chief, see that there? So let's go over there. That's something happening. We're gonna go take a look, all right, everybody? I hope everybody's okay. SubX.News. So Citizen App says this is a fire over here or something. There's some battalion chiefs here, I guess because they're high rises, right? Oh, it looks like they're looking at that building over there. I don't know if that's smoke or what that is there. Look at that. That's steam. Big fire response, right? SubX is on the spot reporting. We're right in downtown Chicago. Well, South Loop a little bit. Look, the trucks are so old. These are temporary trucks. They don't have no numbers. Look at that. See that there? So they're somewhere in that building, and it looks like. What's up, my brother?
I fired here, fired.
That's what they're saying. Where is it at? This one or that one?
Okay, message received.
So they're in this building here. Autism centers. We're at Wabash and 9th. SubX.News on the spot reporting here. Well, heavy fire response. Wow, there's a lot of trucks. There's another truck with temporary numbers. Look at that. 2 trucks with the number 1. Number 1, number 1. See that? That truck has no numbers too. These are all temporary trucks. See that there? They're all temporary trucks. So they're going in this building here. SubX. Look at how many trucks have the number 1. Look at that. That has a number 1. That has a number 1. And that has a number 1. That has no number there. SubX.News. You got oh man, you got command centers. You got everything out here. That looks like it's a school or something, right? Hopefully everything is okay. SubX.News on the spot reporting here. We're at 9th and Wabash. Stride Autism Centers. Looks like something's going on inside that building. I hope everybody's okay. I don't see no evacuation. Somebody's walking into there, so I don't know what's going on. See that? There's a guy walking in or something right there. I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna sit here and see what's going on here, right? Again, SubX is on the spot reporting here. Sit here and see what's going on, right? You see all those temporary numbers on those trucks, right? In the middle of it, right? SubX.News, 4:42 p.m. Heavy fire response here at Wabash and 9th. It's at the Stride Autism Centers, it looks like. I don't know if it's in that or there's an apartment in there. There's Burnham Park Place, 40 East 9th Street. 40 East 9th Street. A lot of firefighters going into the building there. I don't know if it's in the Autism Center or if it's in the apartment there. But they're going in. I don't see them pulling anybody out. I don't see any fire from anywhere. There's a lot of heavy fire response here in downtown Chicago or South Loop. One of the things you notice is all these fire trucks don't have numbers, they have temporary numbers. See that there? That's a number 1 truck. That has a number 1 with a tape. That has a tape. There's another truck there without a number 2. There's also police response here. Heavy response here at Wabash and 9th. Over here at the Burnham Park Place, or Burnham Park Plaza, it looks like, apartments. That's what it looks like. That's where they're going into right there. See that there? There you go. The sun, they're bringing in fans or something. Maybe there's carbon monoxide. Who knows, right? There you go. We find out more, we'll tell you guys. SubX.News on the spot reporting here. SubX.News. Heavy fire response here at 40 East 9th Street at the Burnham Park Plaza Apartments. South Loop, 4:44 p.m., April 20th, 2026. They have the hoses, but they don't have the water running through them. See that? So it doesn't look like it's a fire. It's a police officer coming out there. You see that there? They haven't really blocked off the sidewalk or nothing. So I don't know what's going on. I don't have my radio with me. I should have probably brought my radio with me. They're not pulling anybody out. You'd figure in a building like this they'd have some kind of a fire alarm and evacuate everybody. Well, it doesn't look like they evacuated everybody. I have no idea what's going on there. They're letting people stand around there. See that there? So it's not, if it's a fire or something, they would tell everybody to stay away. I think, I don't know, I'm not a fire guy, so. SubX.News on the spot report. doesn't have no numbers, you see that? That one has a temp number. There's a command center over there. Trying to figure out what's going on for you guys. Now I'll put on some radio here. And it just happened as we were driving north on State Street, so this is brand new. I'll go back to here and let's see what we hear, son, right? Looks like they're disconnecting the hose, so it's not a fire.
Sure, that event number is going to be 08770. 08770.
Oh, look, they're wrapping it up, right?
Okay, I'll stay on here. Let me know, please.
Alright, 4714, you know what?
So it looks like they're wrapping it up, right?
Alright, next guys are trying to come in.
73748, can we get a platform check at Jefferson Station, please?
Okay, it's going to be 09193. 09193.
So somebody came out of the building, but it's not like evacuated.
4713.
I mean, it's not a fire, so they're rolling up the hose, right?
Sure, it's 08477. 08477.
99, thank you. 4723.
4723.
Ready up for training at the Ag High School, 111th and Hamlet, please.
Alright, that's going to be 090.
I try to get to the fire channel. So it looks like there might be tenants.
Return your health, 1.6. Or return. Truckway 281. You made it all the way to 100. We were touching the whole dam with over injury. That's Interstate 93 right car. 93 to turn. Truck towards up the scene, 2701 South Wall. Got a one-story ordinary supermarket, nothing showing. Taking the man associates back on. That's all okay. Westbound, got a one-story ordinary automatic alarm, nothing showing, superman, nothing whatever. Does it need to go in? Right there, get over. Here's 265, service returning, exit alarm. Truck 22 neighborhood, you can go ahead and go to your fuel fees in between there. Truck 52. You know what truck 52, truck 52. Truck 52. 2709 Full Town Hall Drive, ready to go catch us. 4729 West Full Town Hall, second drive.
They're coming out now. See that?
Truck 49, you go for a still, truck 49. Truck 49 is also 7618, set for a still, 7618. Interstate 72, truck Liberty 4 with 943 right turn. Engine 88, your house stay home, engine 88. Engine 121, Danglewood. Can you put us on the air for fuel 104%? Mission of the 21st Battalion. Thank you. Engine 38, service reserve.
38. Truck 26 return, truck 26 return.
26 return, thank you. 30, 50, North Racing Avenue. We have a four-story, ordinary residential SR road. Nothing showing. We are outbound investigating, pursuing commands with vehicle.
Battalion 1, Battalion 1.
Battalion 1.
Battalion 1, fire attack, Ursula High-Rise, 40 East, number 9th Street. Number 40 East, 9th Street.
40 East, 9th Street, fire attack, Battalion 1.
You just heard it, right? The call's coming out for this place. It was called in as a fire. Let's call in as a fire. Listen up.
Battalion 1, Battalion 1.
Battalion 1.
Battalion 1, fire attack, Ursula High-Rise, 40 East, number 9th Street. Number 40 East, 9th Street.
40 East 9th Street, fire attack, Battalion 1.
And they got the axes and everything. You see that guy? He's the axe guy there, man. He's got an axe in his hand. See that there?
17, there's not a handle on it.
It's people coming out of the building, so it wasn't that serious, right?
Truck 3, you're going to be here because the maintenance that's now. Maintenance is number.
this scene is over with, guys, huh? We're gonna get out of here so we don't get a ticket, huh? I don't know if I can get out. I think I got somebody behind me now.
Under 107, please see 1125 on the way to Google and ICR progress.
71.
Under 71.
It looks like they're doing some paperwork there, huh?
We're returning it through both companies flag.
People in and out of that building, so I don't think it's that serious. It's over with now. SubX is on the spot reporting. We're at 9th and Wabash. It came in as a fire. It might have been a fire in an apartment or a unit up there. They went into there and they're out, right? Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with those guys, man. They all these dudes got muscles, man. You don't see any skinny firemen, I'll tell you that. They all got muscles, man. You see them carrying them hoses? Yeah. These are some pretty tough guys there. Alright, I think we're out of here. What do you guys think? Alright. I'll show you the trucks here one more time. Because this is downtown. They take this seriously in Chicago. You got a lot of trucks. There's a command center there. You got battalion. You got all kinds of trucks. One of the things you should notice is there's no numbers on these trucks. These are temporary trucks. Temporary. There's another temp there. See the numbers taken off? These are all temp trucks. That's a bad thing for Chicago. They've been talking about that for about 3 or 4 years. So there you go. That's what sounded like it happened in the unit. Let me replay that for you guys again. They were just talking about it, right? Right here. You want to hear what happened? Here you go.
Truck 3, you're going to be your feature of the main entrance now. Main entrance Thomas now.
Main entrance Thomas now. That's 50. I just tell you one that being 6559 North Whipple on the automatic alarm. Story ordinary, nothing shown. Maybe basic e-file. You want to know anything?
That was in that place. See temp numbers, number 1, right?
Just on out one here, we're returning through both companies flag.
That doesn't have numbers on it either. See that one there?
Doing command. We have a 19-story category 4 residential sprinkle 125, 150. Better have one fire on the third floor. At this time, the fire is now moderate smoke conditions. Here they were fumigating and what it calls top of the unit. Primary search complete negative. We are not leading out at this time, and we're beginning ventilation.
Dangerous there. Gonna hit somebody in the head there. That thing, that's dangerous.
Got somebody taking all angle. This will be a multi-victim refusal. Thank you.
Now we're gonna go back to our regularly scheduled broadcast, right? There you go, right?
Who's there? We're on PX 210 South Canal
Let's get out of here. It's a big response, huh?
Office update from 221 at this time. The fire is out. Primary search is complete and negative. Secondary search is underway at this time. We have moderate smoke conditions within the unit. We have ventilation being done at this time as well.
So there was some smoke in the unit and they ventilated. Maybe it was a kitchen fire. So it wasn't serious.
Office also, the floor above was clear.
We're on a line with Metro. Any luck finding that patient yet? Alright, truck 3, ambulance 3.
You got people driving like they don't know what's going on, and they see all these sirens and trucks, and they're weird, man.
Searches are complete and negative. We had a kitchen fire that was put out with hand pumps. 4th floor and stairwell are clear top to bottom. We are still in the process of doing mechanical ventilation.
Kitchen fire put out. I'll replay that for everybody. See that guy? He went in the street and he's now making a turn because he didn't. So it was a kitchen fire over here.
143.
We'll play that for you again. That was the guy with the water cash last week, remember? That's... I'll try to get that radio call for you guys, right? I'll try to get you what they said it was. Let me get it on, and I'll turn off the Citizen, because I'm on Citizen app and Facebook right now.
96 weeks ago.
After 96, 718 or Central. Another sibling is 718 or Central.
I'll play what this was, right?
We're going to 2246 North Milwaukee.
It's the fire channel, all right?
All right.
This is the guy we seen getting his stuff together, right? Right there.
11.
Roseman's already on scene with engine ambo.
And 11 must receive. 196, 196. Need a truck 3, we're on a line with Metro. Any luck finding that patient yet? Truck 3, stand by.
Truck 22, you can hold that ambo. Engine 71's on scene, 5559 North Whipple on the automatic alarm. 2-story ordinary, nothing showing. We're going to be facing eastbound. Eastbound on all the things from switching over to fire ground.
171 eastbound, nothing showing.
107 me.
Engine 107.
Yeah, can you send CPD over here? We're doing CPR.
Engine 107. Police speed 1125 on the way. We will advise CPR in progress.
1125, thank you. 71 me.
171.
System malfunction, we're returning a service hold, the company responding.
Message received 171, truck 56, you are released, return, truck 56, return.
Truck 56 is turning.
621 to Maine.
221.
I'll be assuming command. We have a 19-story Category 4 residential sprinkled, 150 by 150. Had a half-month fire on the third floor. At this time, the fire is moderate smoke conditions. Appears they were fumigating and putting off the contents of the unit. Primary search complete and negative. We are not leading out at this time, and we're beginning ventilation.
221, your master seat.
Truck 22, you can hold the angle. There's going to be a multi-victim refusal. They just need CPD here.
Message received, truck 22. We will hold ambulance 46, and no police assigned yet. We'll make another request.
Thank you.
All right, truck 22, please be 2023 on the way now. 2023.
2023, thank you. Truck 3 to Maine.
Truck 3.
We're on scene at 210 South Canal. We're looking for the incident. The ambos are already here. We can't find them. Do you know where this person is, this patient?
Truck 3, stand by. We'll give him a call back.
55's on the scene. 330 diversity for ambulance.
155 in the scene.
271 to Maine.
271.
Office update from 221. At this time, the fire is out. Primary search is complete and negative. Secondary search is underway at this time. We have moderate smoke conditions within the unit. We have ventilation being done at this time as well.
271, message received.
271 to Maine.
271.
Office also, the floor above was clear.
Message received, 271. Standard truck 3, we're on the line with Metro. Any luck finding that patient yet? Alright, truck 3, ambulance 28 has a patient. You are released from the scene. Return.
271 to Maine.
271.
Office update from 221. At this time, all searches are complete and negative. We had a kitchen fire that was put out with hand pumps. Fourth floor and stairwell are clear top to bottom. We are still in the process of doing mechanical ventilation.
Message received, 271.
43 to Maine.
There you go.
143.
Kitchen fire, right?
43 Maine, you can hold the ambulance. We had an unhoused gentleman in the alley. There's now one in the EMS. We're going to be returning my service.
Alrighty, we're going to get out of here.
43, we'll hold ambulance 53. 196, 196.
Go for 96.
Yeah, 196, let me know when you guys are finished up there. I've got another one for you.
96, message received. We'll be ready in a couple of minutes.
Alrighty.
Engine 102.
Engine 102.
What is on fuel permission of Alien 9, bad driver?
Message received, Engine 102.
96 weeks ago.
Okay, Engine 96, 718 North Central. Another sibling is 718 North Central.
96 is going to 718 North Central.
Engine 43, Engine 43.
43, we're going to 2246 North Milwaukee.
Alright.
Sounds like it was some kind of a kitchen fire.
Engine 11 to Maine.
Engine 11.
Roseman's already on scene with engine ambo.
Engine 11 must receive Rosemont's handling then. You guys are returning?
There's actually two incidents off it. We're going to head to the one further west, past this first one, and so check on that one. So you can keep them coming.
Message received. We'll let ambulance 20 to continue on west.
Engine 14 to Maine.
Engine 14.
Myself in the truck have zero readings on our meter. However, there is a light odor of gas in the hallway. We are unable to gain access to a few of the apartments. Can you have gas company respond here, please?
Message received, Engine 14. We're going to see those gas. Are you guys going to be shutting anything down there?
Negative at this time. We're going to hang around a little bit and do a little more investigating.
Positive, babe. And main engine 96, engine 96. When you're finished up with that one, I have another one yet again.
There you go. You're listening to the Fire Channel, by the way.
Message received. You can give us for that now.
They're busier than the cops are. Maybe we should...
Another civilian at 213 North Waller. 213 North Waller.
That's by Brandon Johnson's house. He lives on Waller and Superior.
Engine 14, right?
Engine 14.
Should I do fire chasing? Is that what it's called? Fire chasing?
We advise the tenants they are ventilating at this time. Nobody is feeling ill at this time, so no ambulance requested. So just the gas company be sufficient. Myself and the truck and service returning.
Let's receive engine 14. And engine 14, engine 14.
14, checking the box, 1337 West Ohio Street.
Okay, and truck 19, follow the engine. And truck 19, you got me check the box? And engine 11.
Truck 19 going to check the box. Engine 11.
Yes, engine 11, this second incident that you located, is that going to be in Rosemont?
We're, split down the way here, but yeah, we're pretty far west on this highway.
Alright, must received. And then just verifying you are on the I-90 there, correct?
We are. We're at the 90, right at the Des Plaines River.
Okay, very well.
103, man, you can hold engine 18. We just do the ambulance.
Must receive engine 103, engine 18, return, engine 18, return.
18 message received. 271 to main.
271.
Office 221 is requesting OFI.
Message received 271. And it's 271.
Go for 271, office.
271 OFI car 469. OFI 469.
469, thank you, office.
And a battalion 12, battalion 12.
Go, battalion 12.
Yeah, battalion 12, can you cover an automatic alarm in a high rise? 222 East Pearson. 222 East Pearson.
Battalion 12 is en route. 222 East Pearson.
Alrighty, there you go.
271 to main.
Maybe we'll do SubX.News fire chasing. What do you guys say? Yeah, it looks like everybody likes this, right?
We're reaching the elevators at this time and going to be turning the building over back to building management.
Oh, wait up. What happened?
271 Airman, Susie. 271 Airman. 271.
Office update from 221 at this time. Ventilation has been completed. The alarm is reset and holding. Releasing the elevators at this time and going to be turning the building over back to building management.
271 Airman, Susie.
There you go.
Oh, government.
107.
Jason's like, yeah.
Okay, just 99.
Engine 98 on the scene. 52 East Pearson. We got approximately 20-story residential fire-resistant building. No control to be one.
There we go.
Engine 98. So the command push on over fire.
I have no idea what fire stuff is, so I couldn't tell you what's going on or the numbers or anything.
1337 West Ohio. Checking the box.
I'd have to learn everything here.
Elementary school.
Got a lot of calls. We're gonna go back to
3 to engine 14.
110, you're being held up by the ambulance return.
Okay.
Being held under service trying. Engine 98 to main. Hold up the truck, hold up the chief. We have construction dust on the 3rd floor. Alarm system's been reset and is holding. We're going to be in service returning.
Process of these 90s. Truck 3, battalion 12 return. Battalion 12 puts back on the radio.
Thanks, me. Truck 3 going home. Truck 4 to main. We have 0 readings at this location. We're going to be returning service.
Truck 4 message.
221, right there. That's the guy. 221, right? Remember he was saying 221? That's the guy right there.
Battalion 3 to me.
Sorry, Battalion 3.
This was an alarm malfunction, system reset, all companies in service returning.
Sorry, Battalion 3. 102, you get your fuel, 102.
102 available.
Alright, 102, they're injured from the fall. 1426 Birchwood. 1426 Birchwood, injured from the fall.
1426 Birchwood for 102.
Okay.
103 to me.
103.
We're in service.
What's up, Juan?
Can you keep us in service on the air for drivers to train, please?
102, Master Chief. 102, you can disregard there. 102, disregard return.
That's Trump Tower, by the way, right there.
117, we're on the scene, 601 north, looking around. Do you have anything further?
117, we got those 2 calls. I'll try and call her back, though. They didn't say if they were involved or passing, so we'll call. 117, food for less parking lot. I told her to wave you down.
Message received. Final 7, we're in service returning from Sinai in service.
Master Chief 107.
Battalion 2 to Maine. All companies are going to be in service from 9th Street. I'll be on the scene waiting for about 5.
Master Chief 102.
He just said all are done with service. You heard him, right? That's it. That was that guy right there we just seen in the last car, 221. There you go. SubX.News. You just seen a fire call. That was pretty exciting. It happened right in front of us. You just seen the fire trucks moving, right? And we're like, oh, what's that? We went here and you've seen it from everybody, if you were tuned in, you've seen it from the beginning to the end. Pretty professional, pretty clean, pretty fast. That was pretty good. I'm glad no one got hurt. It's unfortunate. Out west, there was a bad fire. You heard about it today. I don't know if I posted it on Facebook. I know I posted it on Twitter. I don't know if I did it on Facebook. There's a fire out west. 3 houses burned. I think 20 to 30 people were homeless. 3 houses burned in next to each other over there on the west side. It's kind of a sad thing. You know, you lose everything. I remember watching a sad one about a lady. I forget when it was, about a year ago. I'll look up the story. It was really, really sad. She was single. She was like a widower. I don't know if she had any money or whatever, but she was living in the house. And the saddest part about it is her husband died the year before. Something else happened. So, you know, she was having a hard time. And her house burned. Her husband was passed away already, God rest his soul. She was all right. She survived. But she said, I lost everything. I lost my husband. I lost my house that I grew up and raised my children in, and all my memories of my raising my children and my husband, who just passed away, just got burned down. It was a really sad story. I'm gonna look for it. It was really, I'm thinking about it now. I'm sad thinking about it, right? It's just like, it's what we were talking about earlier. You know what I mean? How can you not have compassion for that other person when there's harm happening? Yeah, we have some, we kind of have some mechanism. Maybe we'll smirk a little bit. Maybe we'll like try to laugh a little bit when we see really bad things happening. That's a defense mechanism. Everybody knows. But if you don't really care about somebody and you blame others and you make excuses, right? I got all these guys that are homeless out there. It kind of makes you wonder, man, how did you grow up? Right? How did you grow up? If you don't feel for other people. Like right now, I was talking about the lady and I'm remembering the story and I'm kind of getting sad about it. It makes me emotional. Imagine that you lose your husband. That's your house that you grew, you know what I mean? Those of us who are a little older, you raised your children in. All your memories, and then you're still grieving from losing your husband. I don't know how long they were married. They were married a long time, 30 or 40 years, right? And what? Now, that's what she said. She goes, I lost my husband. I'm by myself. And now I lost all my memories of everything that I ever did in my lifetime. So she had nothing and she was homeless. You kind of get it? And look, I do this all the time. I'm supposed to be hardcore. I think about, just thinking about that story makes me sad, right? And the reason I say that is because we were talking about something earlier before this. It's like, how do people not have compassion, empathy for the other people that are harmed? I know I do this every day. And when sometimes you don't see me and I shut off a video after a crime scene like that homicide, that triple homicide Friday, that messes with my head. I don't like that stuff. All right, this is some 5:30 news so I can take a little break from this craziness, all right? See what they're doing. 5:30 news.
The village's Cinco de Mayo parade is canceled. Plus,
this is again Governor Pritzker among those applauding a federal judge's ruling regarding national.
What's the excuse this year? Cinco de Mayo.
Prepares for peace talks between the U.S. and Iran, though Iran remains unclear on whether they will come back to the table. Sports. Cubs host the Phillies. Sox off ahead of their series with the D-backs.
Wall Street ending just a little bit lower on worries about peace talks with Iran. The Dow today down 5 points. The Nasdaq down 64. The S&P lower by 17. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
Partly sunny, 56 degrees at 5:31. Topping our news, crews out in full force across Chicago with the start of the city's official construction and pothole season. And the Johnson administration says those crews will be working to smooth them out as you drive around the city. Here's WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz.
We are hard at work beautifying and investing in our beloved city.
Mayor Brandon Johnson joined his new transportation chief, William Cheeks, at the next phase of a reconstruction program along Chicago Avenue near Laramie in Austin.
We know this work may be disruptive.
And after a snowier than usual winter and a spring that's been especially rainy, Cheeks confirms what a lot of drivers could probably guess. The city's pothole crop is especially robust this spring.
We're looking at putting up a few additional crews. We'll wolf pack them.
That basically means crews will swarm potholes to fill them quickly before moving on to the next ward. The mayor seemed to acknowledge that the 9-month delay in finding a successor to former CDOT Commissioner Tom Carney caused some issues with coordination, but says Cheeks is working to shore those up.
There's a lot of work that people want us to get done, and we're going to get it all done.
Jeff Buchholz, News Radio 105.9. WBBM.
Well, it looks like Chicago's annual Cinco de Mayo parade in Little Village will not be happening again this year.
There's nothing to celebrate.
President of the Casa Puebla and Cermak Road Chamber of Commerce, Hector Escobar.
That's 271. Remember they were kept saying 271, 271, that's 271. Right there. That's the guy you heard talking.
Business people in the neighborhood.
Right there, 271.
Most of it important participants and people who live in the area. And
right there, that's the truck.
I can't go. I mean, it just, we don't know what if they're going to take us away or not.
This is the second year in a row the parade has been canceled because of ice, but Escobar says the community will still celebrate Cinco de Mayo in smaller gatherings.
Not ice, that's crime.
Us to be participating and showing our Mexican pride and Mexican celebrations, but you know what? It won't stop us. It won't stop us. We just have to do it at the moment, the right moment, and just right now is just protect our people at this point.
Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And Tom, a federal judge says the idea of National Guard troops in Chicago is officially moot.
A lawsuit filed by the state of Illinois against the Trump administration over the deployment of troops to Chicago during Operation Midway Blitz has been dismissed. Judge April Perry's ruling reads in part, the court cannot provide ongoing protection against hypothetical unlawful acts committed by the federal government. Perry says the president has failed to prove orders authorizing National Guard mobilization should remain in place and called the current state of the city calm. Governor Pritzker among those to praise the ruling, adding in a statement, we know the Trump administration will continue to test the limits of its power no matter the cost to our communities. Illinois will keep standing up and fighting for the rights of our people. Andy Dane, News Radio 105.9
Downtown's
WBBM.
empty.
World News at 5:34. Pakistan preparing for new talks between the U.S. and
Downtown's empty if you see it. I gotta say this about Cinco de Mayo. They're lying. The last time they had it, there was a gang fight over there on Cermak and Rockwell. They were shooting at each other. My buddy from New Jersey, Kyle Mazza, he's from New Jersey. He flew in just for Cinco de Mayo. He drove in, he drives around. Go look him up, Kyle Mazza. K-Y-L-E, Mazza. He's out of New Jersey. He does a lot of crime chasing. If stuff gets hot, he drives here. I know him. I know him personally. I got his phone number. He came here just for Cinco de Mayo. He was on scene when there was the gang fight. He's got the video of a gang fight. Then he went to another location and they were shooting when the cops were there. At And they weren't shooting at the cops. They were shooting at the gangbangers while the cops were there. That was the last Cinco de Mayo. I'll post that up today with the story that they lie. They lie, they cheat, they're con artists, they steal, they endanger us. What else did you hear in the news broadcast? Oh, yeah, we didn't appoint a guy for 9 months. Oh, so that's why we have potholes, because you didn't appoint the guy for a whole damn year. You heard him say it. Oh, now we're going to fix it. So you wrecked it, and then you say you're going to fix it. No, you ain't fixing nothing. You wrecked it. You didn't appoint a CDOT guy for 9 months, and now all of a sudden, the last year in office, you're going to fix everything. You're going to say what? You're going to say, oh, wow, yeah, we fixed it. You see how good we are? I'll tell you this. Remember when they shut off Shot Spotter? When they were shutting it off, September of 24, I think it happened. They were shutting it on. I have some comments somewhere. I have to find them, but I have so many comments and posts that I can't check them all. I remember I said, you watch when they shut Shot Spotter off in 6 months, they're going to say crime is down. Why? Because you're not recording the shootings anymore, right? Sure enough, it was like 6 months to the day. 6 months to the exact date when they shut off Shot Spotter, they said crime is down. 6 months to the exact date. That's how these guys are so criminally minded. They're so destructive. They don't care about harming people. They don't care about people dying. Is there anyone talking about the mass shooting over the weekend? I mean, it happened last Friday. Is anyone talking about Eric who got murdered? Bullops? Anyone talking about him? Yeah, I know his name. I don't have it in front of me. Eric Bullops. Who is he? He's a 16-year-old that was shot at a bus stop at Hyde Park High School when it got out. Do we know anything about the suspect? The suspect was another student with a gun in school. We don't hear nothing about it. Why don't you put the suspect's name out there? Say, this is the suspect in the murder. We need him. Whoever knows where he's at, turn him in. Oh, he's a juvenile. No, he's a murderer. He murdered somebody on a bus stop during dismissal at Hyde Park Career Academy. You don't hear nothing about it. Did you hear anything on the news? Oh, we're making fun of the potholes. And then if you listen between the lines, what did they say? Oh, yeah, I didn't appoint nobody for 9 months. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, but haha, we're going to have wolf packs. Like, what are you talking about, bro? You didn't do your job as the executive. You failed. And now all of a sudden you say you're going to fix it up. And then you're going to say, oh, you see, I did my job. When you didn't. How about this? If we would have had a CDOT guy in, maybe we wouldn't have all these potholes. How about that one? How about if we would have had a regular appointment and we would have had a person doing their job and coordinating? Remember they said in the news story, oh, there wasn't good coordination because we didn't have a CDOT guy in. Well, that's a failure of the mayor. The reason we have the potholes is the mayor's fault. Got that? He's got all those police officers around him, so he doesn't have to worry about safety like all of us do. So why didn't he do his job? Why didn't he job? Why? He's like those ladies that were attacking Sharon and the others on our page over the weekend. Yeah. He's like those ladies who were sticking up for a person who was with a killer. A guy who killed, who? Damian Gomez. I'm not talking the names. I know the names out of my mind. Damian Gomez, Eric Bullock. Eric was part of the gangs, they said, but he's still 16-year-old, don't deserve to die on no street corner. This guy, right? Did you hear the mayor talking about this arrest here? They arrested this guy here. You know where he's from? Oakwan. The shooting here, he shot a store clerk. Let me tell you the story here. Remember we covered this? This was when? St. Patty's Day. The night before St. Patrick's Day, go man. You go. You got the migrants. You don't have ICE anymore. You got the migrants exploiting their children there again, right? You see that there? She's got her child with her, right? She got her child with her, right? And I'm going to talk about the ICE too. You didn't hear about that arrest, did you? Or it's on CWB. I'll put it back on our page. I'll post it. The guy stole out of that store. I'll tell you the story of the 7-Eleven. The guy stole out of that store many times. And he lives out in Oak Lawn, so that's weird. I don't get that, right? But whatever. So he kept coming to the store, stealing and stealing that thing. He's a drug dealer, right? So the last time he was stealing, the store clerk said, stop. He had bear mace. He said, you need to leave the store. The guy started threatening him in the store. He bear maced him and said, get out. The guy that got shot there, right? So he went to close the front door. He didn't chase the guy. That was a lie. It was a lie. Just like they lied about the lady that got burned on the train. Remember on the train, the lady got burned? They said that there was a confrontation and she got burned. And then the videos of the federal government got involved. And they said nothing happened. She was sitting there and he attacked her unprovoked. In this case, at the 7-Eleven, they said that he chased the guy out the store and he followed him. And I was here and it didn't make sense because the store windows were shot up. Remember, I was here at this case. Now I read it. This is what happened. The guy was stealing. He came back multiple times, multiple days. The guy said, you need to leave. The guy threatened him in the store that he had a gun. He bear maced him and said, get out. The guy leaves the store. The clerk goes to lock the door. As he's locking the door, the guy pulls out a gun and shoots through the windows to kill him. That's the story. The cops on their page said that he chased them out and it was a confrontation, so they lied. They made the criminal to be the victim. Just like those two ladies that were messing with my readers or SubX readers the other week, this weekend, saying Damian Gomez and she's a victim, right? That she flew out the window and she's in paraplegic. And I feel sorry for her and I hope that she gets the best treatment and she walks again. I'll pray for that lady that she's right. She's an 18-year-old or something like that, right? Hanging around with gangbangers in cars, right? That's who she is, first of all, right? She hangs around with gangbangers, and she's got a twin sister that hangs around with gangbangers and puts marijuana on her page, on a public page. So she spreads gangs and marijuana on her page. That's who those people are. Puerto Rican princess, a Puerto Rican mama. That page, right? She's hurt. She's in the hospital in ICU. I hope she recovers. I'll pray for her. But they went on and said that she's the victim. She's not the victim. She was with the criminal. She was with the criminal. And the reason I say this all over again is because now you listen to what? Brandon Johnson. He's the victim, he says, right? Oh, yeah, the potholes. Yeah, we're going to fix it for you. When he's the criminal, he ruined the city. He didn't hire somebody to do the job. He wrecked it. Like the lady that was in the car next to the killer. I feel sorry for her that she's hurt. She flew out the window so she didn't have her seatbelt on, right? Was she drinking? Was she doing drugs? I don't know what she was doing. They were driving fast. Should have had your seatbelt on. That's first. Second, why were you out 1, 2 in the morning, right? Driving fast with a dude. A gangbanger, right? There's a known gangbanger that she was with. Just like Brandon Johnson. Exactly like him. Liars, criminals, cheaters who steal, and then when they do that, they victimize themselves as the person that's been harmed. Treatment, not trauma. Treatment, not trauma. Isn't that what they say every day? But you just heard Brandon Johnson laughing about it, joking about it. Then he admits, yeah, I didn't appoint somebody. Or the news said that. I don't know who said that. So it's his fault he did it. It's his fault that we have the potholes. It isn't the road. It isn't the snow. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, the snow and the rain? What are you talking about? That has nothing to do with anything. It snows and it rains all the time. What bizarre maniac, mentally disturbed criminal says that? That it's the rain and the snow. Yeah, it rains and snows. Yeah, it's like normal. We're not in like the desert. We're not in Arizona or Mojave or Joshua Tree. Or Moab. It snows in Moab and rains. They got flash floods out there. So a little more south, right? Or Phoenix or in Tucson. We're not there. Or Mesa. What are you talking about? What bizarre... What do you remember what I was talking about? What kind of a brain thinks like that? That they are so selfish that they victimize themselves to say it's not their fault, it's someone else's fault. Yet they're doing the harm. Not only doing the harm to themselves, but to harm to others. There's a pothole I showed you guys. That video I showed you guys the other day. What was it, Friday night? You know they fixed that pothole. We're going to do if I got a chance today, we might end today over there. I don't know if I can because there's a lot of traffic and I don't have a big car to block. Maybe I'll go back there. Why don't we do that? It's 5 o'clock. It's rush hour. I'll do it right before we're going to do a loop back or something. I don't know what we'll do today. So I did a pothole video. Remember that one? It was filled in with the rain and I used a screwdriver like 6 inches deep, right? So what would you think? They fixed the pothole and everyone goes, yay, Johnny! Yay, yay, we did it! You know, we're going to go there. I don't want to just talk about it. We're going to go there and talk about it right now. I'm going to go back to the pothole right now. That's where we're going to go back into the city and show you the pothole. We're going to talk about that. That's how we're going to end our first segment today. We're going to go back to the pothole on the block to traffic and we're going to go check it out. So I'm giving you guys the lead to the story, right? I'm telling you what we're going to do now. There's a pothole on northbound Lakeshore Drive as you're getting off to Wacker, and you could see the rebarb under there. Remember that? I've been showing it. I've been talking about. And then Friday when it rained, I showed you how deep it was with the screwdriver. There's the video of it. Deep, deep pothole. So as driving in today, the pothole's fixed. All of a sudden by magic, right? But think about this. What would the logical brain think? We're all logical here, right? SubX.News, we're mostly logical. Sometimes we do crazy stuff. Leave the crazy to me. You guys are the watchers. So if you're a SubX.News viewer, right? You're a normal human being. You like breakfast. You like paying your bills, right? You like putting on your seatbelt, all of that good stuff. You like raising a family, go to church once in a while, say a prayer. Maybe you do some donations and some social justice stuff. All the things that get us up to heaven, right? The things that make life good. When we act good and do good, that's what makes life good. We don't do good to be good. We do good because it's right. Right? We do the things that are right. And some of us do it to get to heaven. I try to do right because I don't want to argue with St. Paul or St. Peter when I go up to the pearly gate. I don't want no damn arguments with that man. I want to be dead. And I'm going to heaven. And I'm right about to get in. I don't want to have no arguments with nobody when I get up there. I say, look, yeah, I did bad stuff when I was younger. But I also did good stuff when I was older. And I did more good stuff than bad stuff. I think I did. It's about evened out. It's close. I'm about 50-50 right now. I think I'm over 50-50 now. I guess how about raising the kids and all them working? Doesn't that count as something? That's some good credits with God, right? So let's say, that's what I'm talking about, right? And we're going to go check the potholes. That we're normal people and we like doing good. So what would you think if someone fixed the pothole, right? All right, there's a pothole right there. See that pothole right there? But we're going to show you some other ones. I'm going to show you the one they fixed. Would you think 10 feet in front of it, the other pothole would be fixed? A normal person, what would you think? Yes. They fixed one pothole, then they had the pothole truck and the pothole guys. And you would say, oh, wait, we're going to do, what did he say today on the radio? The wolf pack. We're going to be wolves. Yeah, wolf pack. Wolfpack, yeah, pothole Wolfpack. I don't even know what the hell that means. That's stupid, man. I don't know these guys think of stupid shit. I'm sorry to use the bad word. I apologize. They think of stupid stuff. I'm a Wolfpack. I'm doing potholes. I'm Wolfpack. I don't know what the hell that. Look at this idiot. Well, look at that jerk with his damn pants down and underwear showing. What a jerk that guy is, right? He's a jerk. Why are you walking around like that? You look like an idiot, man. That looks like a fool, man. Well, underwear. You look like an idiot. Hat cocked, weird looking, and he's got his underwear showing. What an idiot you must be. You must be a buffoon, right? You must be a Brandon Johnson supporter right there. That's a perfect Brandon Johnson supporter right there. Pants down, hat cocked, thinking he looks cool and say stupid stuff. So let's get back to the pothole talk, all right? So you got this big, deep pothole. You got the wolf pack out there. They're doing the potholes, right? You got a whole truck out there. You got the pothole, whatever you're doing, whatever machines or whatever. So what would you think? 10 feet from there, you think you would see the pothole fixed? What do you guys vote for? If there's a pothole and you got the Wolfpack pothole, right, crew? And you just did a video about Wolfpack potholes, right? You would think, well, here's a big pothole. Let's fix it because we don't want to see no more videos on the internet, right? Let's fix it. And now it's fixed, right? And then you would think, man, I pretty think there's just some more potholes 10 feet from here. I'm glad that the wolf pack came out. The wolf pack is so good, man. They're wolves, man. They attack those potholes. The wolf pack. We should have had the wolf pack 9 months ago. What happened? And you go 10 feet, and guess what you see? What do you think you'll see when I show you this today? The potholes weren't fixed. So it's a lie. They cheat. They cheat for TV. They're cheaters, right? They're like, I showed you, what was it, JB Pritzker the other day when everybody told me that I thought he was walking somewhere. I thought JB was walking into downtown. I thought he was going to go down Randolph Street, maybe pop into Michigan Avenue, maybe go over to the Grill Cafe, the Park Cafe over there. You know where the roller rink and ice skating is? They had good chicken soup over there. I like the chicken soup over there. You know what I'm talking about? The roller rink. It's the ice skating rink in the winter there in front of the Bean right there on Michigan Avenue. I think it's called Park Grill. That's what it's called. They had the best chicken soup in downtown. Right there. It was $2.50. It was really good. I loved that. I'm thinking about it now. It was good soup. So when I was watching JB, I figured, oh, he's going to go down. He's going to go meet a bunch of people on Michigan. Because sure enough, he walked 2 blocks. I was videotaping him. I was doing my own thing. And I turned my head, he walked across the street, got in the limo and left. And what did people say? He's fake. He's fake. Same thing with this pothole wolf pack. Fake. Fake. Why? Because you're going to see, I'm going to show you now, the wolf pack. They fixed the deep one because it was on the internet, because I put it on the internet multiple times. And guess what happens? The one that's 10, 20 feet away, they didn't fix. So that doesn't even make no sense. It's weird, isn't it? If you got a multiple potholes and you got the wolf pack out there fixing wolf packs or potholes or whatever they're fixing, you would fix all of them, right? It'd be in a row, right? Here. I want a pothole fix. How you gonna wolf pack that? You gonna wolf pack that? You gonna wolf pack that? Let me pull over here, right? You see this here or not? Let me pull over here. I need to do it. I'm gonna pull out my other camera and do a really big video on this. We're gonna go take a walk. Wolf pack, right? And then I'll show you the pothole, right? Wolf pack, right? I gotta talk stupid crap. Wolf pack, right? Wolf pack, right? Let's go look at this. Yeah, I'm on a wolf pack now. That's what I'm on, right? I'm gonna show you guys this, all right? Mr. Wolfpack. I'm gonna call everything the Wolfpack now. I'm gonna get on there. We got a few minutes till the 6 o'clock news, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a quick one here, okay? We're gonna do a quick video, not even a minute, all right? So indulge me, all right? And you're gonna see the Wolfpack now, Mister. Then we'll show you the pothole over there, right? I'll show you guys where that pothole is, right? Now, how they cheat and they lie on TV, right? We're at Wells and where the hell am I? I don't even know where I'm at. Wells and Jackson, right? We're in the middle of downtown. What do you notice first? At first I smell weed, right? It's all around here. You can smell the reefer smoke everywhere, right? It's 5:54, right? All you smell is reefer out here, right? That's the first movie you smell, right? You get out of your truck and you smell weed everywhere, right? That's all you smell around here. And then I'll show you what that does, right? Let's do the video, right? What is it, 5:55? We're just gonna do a quick 1-minute video. I'll show you something, right? Quick. I'm just driving. I ain't picking these. This ain't scripted. 5:55 p.m. We're in downtown Chicago. We're in the middle of downtown. It's 5:55. It's a Monday, April 20th, 2026. Let me show you this. You can smell reefer all around you. It's in the air. So you got one store closed here. You see that one? How many corners on the intersection? There's 4, right? So that's one closed. Got that? One closed. That's one store out of 4 closed, right? A corner has 4 corners, right? Let me show you this. What's up, brother? My hands are full. I'll grab one on it. You got 2 stores closed. So 2 out of 4 is what? 2 out of 4 is what? 50%, right? That's 1. That's 2. There's the train. You don't see no one walking. Whatever. They say Monday is remote Monday, so don't count Monday. But whatever. They lie, right? COVID's over. So you got how many corners to a intersection? 4, right? So you got 1 store closed there, 2 stores. That's 50%. Now let's go over here to corner number 3, right? See corner number 3? So that's 75% closed. 4 corners, 3 closed. That's 75%. Everybody does math. Now we're going to go across to the 4th corner. I think this is the Federal Reserve. So technically it wouldn't have a store there, right? It wouldn't have it because it's the Fort Knox, right? There's money in there. That's like the gold and all of that, right? Say they wouldn't have it. So you can either say it's 100% empty on this corner intersection, or it's 75%. You take whatever you want. See, there's no store here, right? That's the Federal Reserve. That's the main bank for the Chicago area, right? Federal Reserve. Again, 1 store, 2 stores, 3, 4 corners, 75%. But that don't have a store because that's the Federal Reserve, so it's 100% vacant. At what? Where are we at? Wells and Jackson. So, what's the wolf pack gonna do about that? Ain't gonna do nothing about it. Again, 100% vacancy at Wells and Jackson. SubX.News. Then we're gonna go check some potholes out. There you go. Ready to go? Wolf pack. Alright, there you go. There's no traffic either, right? Do you see any traffic down there? I'd rather watch the firefighters. That was fun. This is negative now. We're doing a little negative reporting. Turn on the car, listen to the 6 o'clock news. 100% vacancy at Wells and Jackson intersection. 5:55 p.m., April 20th, 2026. Ready to go?
Clouds. Could get a thunderstorm later in the afternoon and evening, but that's mainly south of I-80, a high tomorrow of 76. 56 at O'Hare right now, 44 chilly degrees in Waukegan.
Featuring the news that matters and breaking news at any time. This is Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour on News Radio WBBM.
Fire jumps from house to house on Chicago's west side. 3 houses go up in flames.
You can see it is Ain't nothing left.
I'm Jeff Buckles in West Garfield Park.
Illinois continues to explore its history of racial inequality with an upcoming hearing. Plus, President Trump expressing optimism when it comes to more talks with Iran and Pakistan, but Iran hasn't committed to returning to the table. Latest on that from CBS News. Cubs host the Phillies. Sox are off.
I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg. Modest losses on Wall Street today on worries about further peace talks in the Middle East. The Dow down just 5, the Nasdaq down 64, the S&P lower by 17.
56 degrees at 6 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Wendy Gillette. A second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran, set to begin tomorrow, remains in question. CBS's Ed O'Keefe from the White House.
Still expected to go to Pakistan either later tonight or at some point tomorrow morning, and the Iranians are still expected to send some kind of a delegation as well. What they'll discuss, for how long, with whom, all of that still not yet known.
Tensions escalated over the weekend. U.S. forces shot at and seized an Iranian tanker, claiming it had violated a U.S. blockade. As correspondent Charlie D'Agata reports from Tel Aviv, Israel, it's one of many.
Officials tell us they turned around maybe 24, 27 I think is the latest number, probably updated by now, either turning them back or stopping them from heading into Iranian ports.
FBI Chief Kash Patel has filed suit against The Atlantic after the magazine published a story that claims he has a drinking problem. Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen.
CBS News has not independently verified and confirmed these anecdotes that are in this piece, but what it has brought up was the national security concerns that have arisen because of it.
The Atlantic stands by its reporting. High meat prices have reportedly caught the attention of Washington.
The Department of Justice's Antitrust Division is investigating the nation's biggest meatpacking companies amid record high prices for beef. That's according to the Wall Street Journal, which reports a probe into possible criminal anti-competitive conduct. Such investigations usually involve allegations of price fixing, market collusion, or companies rigging their bids to customers. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
Apple has picked a new leader, John Ternus, as CEO Tim Cook steps down. CBS News tech contributor Ian Scher.
One key change that Ternus may bring to Apple is a focus from the top on design. Tim Cook has always been known for his strengths in supply chain and operations management, but John Ternus reportedly has that focus on design that Apple is known for.
A wildfire rerouted an Amtrak train in Florida. WKMG TV's Catherine Silver.
Got as far as Palatka train station and found out there was a fire going on.
We saw the ashes falling. We smelled the smoke in the car.
Nearly 3,000 acres are burning near the Clay and Putnam County line with little containment.
This fire is not going to go out overnight. It's going to burn for days.
The Florida Forest Service says drought conditions, low humidity, and strong winds have led to red flag warnings for most of North Florida Monday and much of Southwest and Central Florida Tuesday.
On Wall Street, the Dow dropped 4 points. The S&P 500 lost 16. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
At California Closets, we design for the little things. Take this moment of a family getting ready to leave the house.
Where's my backpack?
Mom, I need my cleats. My wallet was right here.
If I trip over these shoes one more time.
And now, the California Closets version of that moment. Entryway and home storage solutions by designers who get you. California Closets. More room for what matters.
Are you single and looking? Well, love could find you at a baseball game. There you are, rooting for your home team when a beautiful woman asks if you're in her seat. Well, there's been a mix-up, so you get moved together to a private box and fall madly in love, just as your team wins the game. Or you could call It's Just Lunch. Their dating experts will get you out on some real dates for some real fun, real fast. It's Just Lunch, the smarter way to date.
It's justlunchchicago.com or call 312-881-5225 to learn more.
A California man is accused of stealing Legos.
A man is under arrest in Southern California in a plot to steal Lego pieces from boxes of collectibles from Star Wars, Marvel, and Harry Potter sets.
Pretend to Hogwarts.
Irvine police say he bought them at a Target, replaced the pieces with dried pasta, then returned the boxes. Officials say when you shake the packages, they sound about the same. It was part of a scheme carried out in several states that added up to about $34,000 in stolen or damaged property. Experts say Legos are easy prey because the pieces and kits are small, untraceable, and in high demand. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
A new exhibit opens next month at the Metropolitan Museum of Art called Costume Art, featuring mannequins modeled with real bodies. The usual mannequin is a size 2. 9 people served as models, including a disability activist. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
6:05 Monday, the 20th of April. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Andy Dane. Partly sunny skies right now in Chicago, 56 degrees. AccuWeather says clear to partly cloudy for the night ahead. We're down below 47 degrees. A breezy and much warmer day on tap tomorrow. Some sunshine and clouds. A couple of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, especially near and south of Chicago. Gusty winds, even small hail possible with those storms. A high tomorrow of 76 degrees, staying warm for the rest of the week. We'll have the full 5-day forecast for you coming up at 6:15. Our top local story here on News Radio, WBBM. As many as 26 people now finding somewhere else to stay after a fire destroyed 3 homes on the city's west side today. WBBM's Jeff Buckles reports from Fulton and Cicero.
You can see it ain't nothing left.
Antonio Harris is describing the damage caused when a fire at his next-door neighbor's house jumped to his house as he and his wife were in bed.
We were both in the bed with the grandbaby, and she said she smelled smoke.
When he saw what was happening, he got everyone out through the front door. 6 people in all, plus 2 cats and a dog. And then he kept going.
I went and knocked on the doors, kicking on the doors and telling everybody it was a fire.
No one was hurt. Special Operations Chief Jamar Sullivan praised the neighbors who helped out.
I think that's outstanding. You know, that's what the community is supposed to be about.
The search for a cause is just starting. For Harris, so is the search for somewhere else to stay.
I don't know, probably with some more family members.
And after that, dealing with what for decades had been the Harris family home. Now it's gone.
I don't even know what to say about that. I don't know what to say. It's crazy.
We're in West Garfield Park. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
The State Commission working to advance statewide efforts toward reparative justice for Black Illinoisans set to meet this week to go over their latest findings.
The State of Illinois African Descent Citizens Reparations Commission will hold a public hearing on Saturday at the DeSable Black History Museum on its Taking Account report, examining how slavery's legacy continues to impact Black Illinoisans. The event will feature expert speakers and public testimony. Illinois may join places like Evanston in pursuing reparations. Meanwhile, Chicago has launched a bus tour to gather firsthand accounts of systemic racism to inform a city study. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Starting today, you can register for the Chicago Park District's summer programs.
The Park District says it's offering summer programs for over 38,000 participants, featuring a selection of more than 1,000 activities. This year's programming lineup features archery, walking clubs, and pickleball, as well as summer day camps. All programs and camps range in cost, with many of them being free. Registration opens first for parks west of California Avenue, followed by parks east of California Avenue. In-person registration varies by park and begins Saturday. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It's 6:08, time now for traffic.
So we're going to go check the wolf pack. I'm going to show you what the wolf pack did today, right? Pay attention, don't I? So this is a deep pothole that we did a video on Friday, and all of a sudden got fixed today by the wolf pack, right? don't know how to do this. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. We're right at it. See, the problem is there's too much traffic. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. I'll try to do it. What I'll do is I'll point the camera down, all right? So you guys can see, and then I'll show you, right? I'll try to talk about it as I'm driving. Right? All right. That's what I'll do. Well, I'll do it like that, all right? Like this, and then I'll talk about it as I'm driving. That way it's hands-free driving. Remember, the wolf pack, right?
10373, 1037.
Accurate the forecast for this evening. Clear to partly cloudy skies, a low 47 degrees. Breezy and a much warmer day for tomorrow. Sunshine and clouds account for thunderstorms.
SubX.News. It's 6:10 p.m. April 20th, 2026. Today, the mayor got on the TV and the radio talking about the wolf pack. He's going to fix all of these potholes. And he said it was his fault because he didn't appoint somebody for 9 months to run the department, and there was bad communication. Now, look at this. You see that pothole over there? There's a pothole right there. We documented a pothole here that was about 5 feet long. You see that pothole right there? See that, right? There's a pothole right there. We're going to show you this huge pothole that's right here. And then we got a video of it on our page. And all of a sudden it got fixed. I guess the wolf pack fixed this, right? Brandon went on and said they're going to do blasting potholes. So here's the deep pothole that, look at that. They didn't clean the dirt. They left it like crap. See that there? They left it like crap. So they didn't even clean the side of the road. That's the pothole they filled in. And what did I say earlier? I said, you know what? If the wolf pack was a wolf pack, they'd fix all the potholes. Well, I showed you one before it. It wasn't fixed, right? So you seen the one before that wasn't fixed. This is the main road that comes into our downtown here. When you come to work and you work in this area, this is the road you take. This is the road tourists take. This is how you get into your hotels. There's hotels all up and down right here. This is a hotel row right here on above us right here. There's a whole bunch of hotels. This gets you to Michigan Avenue. Now you're going to see this, right? So you've seen the wolf pack packed one hole there, right? And then what did they do? They did crappy work. They didn't even sweep it up. That's how nasty they are, right? So they seen our video from Friday to show how deep it is, right? Now let me show you this over here. First of all, the wolf pack mixed all that dirt over there. See all that dirt over there? All those rocks? So when there's riders, they can pick up those rocks and throw it at cars. That's the first thing. But whatever. You can say, John, that's not the wolf pack. The wolf pack don't clean up, man. Hey, John, don't confuse everybody here now. Okay, so let's stick to the wolf pack. The potholes, right? Now it's 6:12, right? So you figure if they were fixing the potholes and they were driving over here, this is the same area. What is this, 10, 20 feet away? 10, 20 feet. It's the same road. It's the same space. See the pothole over there? Look at that. There's a pothole right there, a big one. There's one right in front of us right here. So you had a crew here that watched our video, or somebody seen our video and said, we're going to go do something about it, and we're going to make a show of it and call it the wolf pack. Right? And you keep driving 10, 20 feet. There's more potholes here. Look at this. There's potholes everywhere. These are all potholes. But yet they patched that one up in the morning or last night, whenever they did, to make themselves look good, right? So I wouldn't do another video. Thinking people are stupid. How stupid can someone be to think that they were fixing that pothole, but how come they didn't fix this one? Because they were fucking around. That's why. Sorry to use that bad language. Because they were fucking around. He's a fake fucking criminal. That's what fucking Brandon Johnson. He's a fake fucking criminal. You see the potholes here? See them all right here? Look at them. They're all right. You're like, oh, yeah, John, blah, blah. No, but that's 20 feet away from the last pothole. So what did those guys do? Just play a game? You want to see these? I saved these for the last, and there's another one deeper than those. Look at all these potholes there. They're right by that one. See that there? Look at all those potholes there. They're right in front of you. They're no more than, 30 to 40 feet from the Wolfpack pothole, right? That Brandon Johnson said he's fixing. But look at this. They're all right here. Don't you see that there? There's potholes all across the road. Look at all of those potholes. So what does that tell you? He's on bullshit. He's a bullshitter. He lies, right? See that? Did you feel me going into that potholes? That's a deep pothole there, right? Yeah. I'm going to show you one more time. If you guys don't believe me. There, man. It's right here. Look how deep those things are. They're deep. Don't you see that? That's down there. The one they filled in is behind me. Right? A few minutes behind me. So the guys that were doing this were fake. They're fakesters. They do crap. They don't do work. They don't fix nothing. They don't do what they should do while they're on the clock. They didn't do a good job over there because they didn't sweep the side. They just did a fake thing for the TV, right? And the internet. There you go. See that deep pothole right there? Yeah, they didn't do that one. It's right down the street from the other one. That don't make no sense, does it? Look, there's more right here. Look at these deep ones. Those are deep. There's one deeper right there. That one's even deeper. Right there. It's right down. It's not even 5 minutes from the last one that they fixed. So all they're doing is doing stuff for the TV. They're doing fake stuff. Fakeness, right? And if you have a fake government, that's really dangerous. That's worse than an authoritarian government. Authoritarians can do what? You can tell what look at all these potholes right here. It's right down from that pothole. Look, the whole road is potholed up. Don't you see that? The whole road is. And there, that's underneath. The Whacker Drive is underneath. I'll drive next to this so you can see it. Look at that. Right there. Look at that. Look how deep that is. What is that? That's like 6 inches deep. You want to see how deep that is? Look at that. Look how deep that is. Don't you see that? You can see the damn metal there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, how deep it is. Look. The other one is right back there in back of us. So what does that mean? They faked it up. He's a fake criminal. He ain't even a real criminal. He won't even lie to you and get lost. He fakes it up, says it's the Wolfpack. That's what he's using to fix potholes, his terminology. I don't know why you do that stupid stuff. You making up names, right? There's another one right there. So it doesn't make sense. Why aren't they fixing this? If you were right, look, it's like cleaning your house. You clean your refrigerator, but you only clean the top half and you leave the rotten vegetables on the bottom. That don't make no sense. You didn't clean the refrigerator, right? If you're in the refrigerator, you clean the refrigerator, don't you? Yeah, maybe a big room, you don't clean the whole room at once. You just do the top, you do the bottom. Maybe you do the deep cleaning later, right? I get that. But we're talking about the same road here. This is not a different road. Don't you see the potholes here? This is how people come into downtown. You see me come here every day, right? Look at all the potholes right there. There's a huge one here. This is as big as the one that was out on Lakeshore Drive. Look at that. You want to see how deep that is there? Look at that. Look at how deep that one is. See that one there? So think about this. The man that's our mayor was on TV today and on the radio playing a Wolfpack game. Said, I'm the Wolfpack. I'm fixing all the potholes. And we're going to do it by Wolfpacking, right? We're going to attack them in certain locations. What did I just show you on SubX.News? They lie. They lied the first day they come on TV. And how do you tell they lied? They open their mouth. Because why? He didn't fix this area. There's no differentiation. It's in the same place. It's the same road. I'm not going to a different area of the city. He had a whole crew here and they didn't fix it. So either he's lying, the crew's lying, or the CDOT guy's lying. Somebody's lying in this picture. Right, there you go. SubX.News. It's 6:19 now p.m. Right? So that's what I wanted to show you guys. I've been waiting to do that. I wanted to show you that super deep one, but they fixed it, right? But now what did you see, right? I just came here and I showed you. And look, there's all potholes all around here. So think about it. There was a truck here this morning doing something, but they didn't do the work. They did a fake work. So they used, what did they do? They used our resources, our city resources to do fake work for fake TV promotions. You know what should happen to them? Everyone should be fired, and the mayor should be brought up on criminal charges that uses what? City resources, city workers for television garbage, which he shouldn't do. He should provide services there. There's a whole pothole there. I can say, oh, we're a little far now. I won't say this now. Now we're a little far now. We're close to a mile away now, right? This is Michigan Avenue. And that was Lakeshore. I said, we're close to a mile away. So I won't count this that's the wolf pack. But that other stuff that was not even 10, 15 minutes away, now it's 5 minutes away. That was about 50 feet away. Nah, man. They're faking it. They're lying and they're cheating and they're using our resources. Then getting on TV and lying about it, somehow saying he's doing some good. There has to be a consequence. Remember what I talked about crime? There has to be accountability. So, one, there's no one accountable to the Illinois residents and taxpayers. There's no one accountable to us, the citizens. Did you hear him say, the buck stops with me ever? Did you ever hear him say he blames everybody? He blames Trump. He blames J.B. Pritzker. He blames everybody except himself. There's no accountability with Brandon Johnson. See the potholes right there? I say this is different. This is Lower Walker Drive. It's a different place. I won't blame him for this one, right? So there's no accountability. That's the first thing. Second, there's no consequences. No one gets, they fire some people here and there, but there's no consequences. And lastly, there is no deterrence. We have a mayor who lies. We have a mayor who cheats. He makes false statements. He endangers every citizen in the city. He endangers students. He endangers black people the most, because that's the most people that are dying in our city today, off of drugs and off of crime. The most people that are suffering in our city today are black people. Blacks. They're the most that are killed. And I've seen from my doing this for 3 years now straight, every day at 5 o'clock, I go out at least at 5 o'clock for 3-4 hours for 3 years now straight. I'm working on my 4th year now. Is what? Mostly black people that are on drugs, they're homeless, and they're victims of crime. All right, there you go. What race do you think he is there? Is that black, white, or Hispanic right there? What is that? It's a black dude. Right there, what did I just say? A black man sitting on the sidewalk. Right there. Didn't you see that? It's a black man or a woman. I don't know. Just seen it. There's another guy right there. It's another guy. I know that guy. He's homeless. Right there. Another guy. 2 blacks, right? Right there. It's in front of you. So he lies. We have a mayor who lies. We have a mayor who uses resources of the city to make fake media statements that he's fixing things. And then when you go check it, it's a lie. So he not only didn't he do the job the first time, he then gets on TV and lies about what he's doing. And then when you check, say, oh man, I'm happy. The wolf pack is out there. They're doing something. Who? The wolf pack. The wolf pack. And you check it and you're like, oh wait, it ain't fixed. There's a hole that was fixed. They didn't even do that right. Right? And then when you look 10, 20 feet ahead of you, they didn't fix the other hole. Then you're like, well, wait up. He said the wolf pack is going to attack places that are what? In groups, right? That's what he meant, right? I think that's what he meant. The wolf pack is going to attack a location, fix it, and then move on. What did you just see? That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So not only didn't he do the job the first time, then he uses the media and his resource to make up stuff on the internet and on the TV and make false statements, right? And he's not accountable to why that happened. He lies and says it's the rain and the snow, which we have rain and snow every year, right? Then he says, oh yeah, I didn't appoint somebody for 9 months, so it's his fault that it happened. He didn't say it was my fault because I didn't appoint somebody. He should have said, it's my fault. I take full responsibility. That's, right? Accountability. That's being accountable, right? The second thing is consequences. What is his consequences going to be? I'd say, hey man, put up a pothole tracker or something. You got potholes with, if he wanted to be accountable, which he wasn't, then he wanted consequences. He could have said, look, I'm going to make a pothole tracker. You see a pothole, put it on 311 or an app. I'm going to make a pothole app. And I guarantee, as the mayor of the city of Chicago, I'm going to take accountability and there's going to be consequence. Because you know what the consequence is going to be? In 24 hours, I'm going to have that pothole fixed. That's my guarantee. And there's going to be consequence if it doesn't happen. He didn't do that, did he? So that means there is no deterrence, the last one. Because he wasn't accountable. There's no consequences. So now there will never be a deterrence. And what did we show you? It's the fact. Less than 24 hours of not even making a statement on the TV. We just showed you, right? That they lied. That's why I did that whole little cycle there of the wolf pack. And before we did the wolf pack, we showed you 100% vacancy on a corner. At where? Wells and Jackson. So we can talk about the rats. We can talk about the crime and the killing, right? We can talk about the potholes. We can talk about the homeless shelters, right? That's all fine and dandy, and that's very, very bad, right? Talk about the killing of Damian Gomez. You know, God rest his soul, and I hope the lady that was in the car and she got hurt and might be paralyzed, I hope she gets better. I hope she walks. I hope she walks. I hope that lady that was in that car walks. And I'm serious about it, and I'm going to say a prayer tonight for her. I want her to walk. I want her to be healthy. I don't want anybody to be harmed. I don't want anybody ever to be killed. I never want that. That's not my philosophy. I don't live that way, right? That's damaging. That's harming. I wish no ill will on that lady. I want her to be healthy. I want her to recover. I want her to do anything she wants in her lifetime and live a full life, whatever it may be. If she likes smoking reefers and being gangbangers, let it be. That's her life. She chooses it. That's important, right? Because in our society, we choose freedom. Freedom to let anybody do whatever they want. Some of us, maybe all of us, maybe a few, who knows? Some people judge, some people say some things. That's the way life goes. You live with it. But in the end, freedom is freedom. You get to do what you want in our society, right? That's the point I'm trying to make here. That we can't be free when a guy that runs our city is a liar and cheats. We can't be free when he cheats and he lies and he endangers every person that lives in our city. Did you see those firefighters today? They had tape on their trucks. They didn't even have numbers. Why? Because you have a cheater that's your mayor, our mayor, my mayor, all of our mayor. He's a cheater. And guess what? Those firefighters still work hard. You know, there's only one ladder truck on the south side. One ladder truck on the south side. One. Did you see all those trucks with the temporary numbers? That's not an accident. That's him. That's the mayor. He did that. He spent the money, instead of spending it on fire trucks, what did he spend it on? Illegal migrants. He spends it on transgenders. He spends it on dildos. He spends it on stuff that he shouldn't spend it on. And then he gets on TV and makes stuff up that it's Trump's fault, it's somebody else's fault. Except whose fault? His fault. His fault. He's a bad mayor, right? And this is some news before I keep talking.
At Lamont, 2 left lanes blocked. Gapers delay inbound, heavy before Lamont, 30 minutes in from 355. Dan Ryan out 20 inbound 15. Super heavy delays on the Tri-State Tollway all the way into Northwest Indiana.
Pothole scam.
Next report for the Metro
So
Traffic
they
Center at
fixed this one
6:38
that we
News Radio
reported
105.9
Friday on the
BBM.
internet
Good partly
video.
cloudy skies
But
this
you
evening,
go
a low
drive a
47
few feet
degrees,
away and you
breezy
see the
warmer
other
day
pots.
tomorrow.
So they're pulling a
Sunshine
scam
and
on the whole
clouds,
state of
potential
Chicago.
thunderstorms as well. A high of 76. Right now, partly sunny, 56 degrees. O'Hare, Midway, 46 along the lakefront, 629.
The best way is right up the expressway at the new Toyota on Eaton's. You'll find over 300 new and pre-owned Toyotas, all at our best price.
6:10
Visit
p.m.,
one of
April
Chicagoland's
20th,
fastest growing Toyota
2026.
dealers.
Lakeshore
Toyota on
Drive
Eaton's or
to Wacker.
ToyotaOnEatons.com.
What's the deal with this new data center project? It seems like a good deal. They create local jobs, and we won't shoulder any costs.
So it won't impact our monthly electric bill?
That's right, and data centers pay millions to improve our schools and roads. Plus, new closed-loop systems will use less water than an Olympic swimming pool.
An investment in Northwest Indiana's future. An opportunity we can't miss. More at nwidataFacts.com.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9. And
There's a homeless guy right there. You see him walking there? That dude's homeless. See him there?
6:30, good evening. I'm Andy Dane. These are the top stories on News Radio WBBM. The city of Chicago officially kicks off construction season.
This is Rachel Pearson, a case authorities call horrifying as 6 dogs are found dead in trash bags in Creek Township.
I'm Mallory Vorbroker. Hikes at the Indiana Dunes National Park will be changing soon for visitors.
And with the U.S.-Iran ceasefire set to end this Wednesday, there's renewed calls for peace talks in Pakistan. Sports, Cubs getting set to host the Phillies at Wrigley Field. White Sox off tonight before a series begins tomorrow in Arizona with the D-backs. Wall Street today, the Dow dropped 5 points. NASDAQ slipped 64. S&P 500 fell 17. AccuWeather forecast for this evening, clear to partly cloudy skies, a low of 47 degrees. Right now in Chicago, partly sunny, 56 degrees at 6:31. Today's official start to Chicago's outdoor construction season means crews will start turning their attention to an unwelcome byproduct of spring, potholes.
Families can expect to see more orange cones, more crews, and more equipment.
Mayor Brandon Johnson joined city and community leaders near his home in Austin to formally kick off the start to Chicago's outdoor construction season.
That's a good thing, Chicago.
The city's plan under new CDOT Commissioner William Cheeks includes an aggressive plan to smooth out the ride for hundreds of thousands of drivers after a snowy winter and during a rainy spring.
Potholes are have come to a lot extra right now.
Cheeks says he met with supervisors last week to come up with a plan to swarm pothole-ridden streets so they can be filled in quickly. He calls it wolf packing.
We can address higher numbers in certain areas, so triage here, move to another ward, triage.
The mayor says it's all part of the city's effort to continue a trend of lower fatalities on Chicago's streets.
We are making traffic safety a priority.
Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9, WBBM.
Now to a disturbing case out of the south suburbs. Investigators looking for whoever dumped 6 dead dogs along a roadside in Creek Township.
Authorities say the dogs were found March 3rd, stuffed inside plastic bags near Norfolk and Kings Roads in unincorporated Creek Township.
Showed signs of first signs of what could be dogfighting, and apparently they outlived their usefulness.
Will County State's Attorney James Glasgow says the pit bull mixes were killed, though their exact cause of death hasn't been released. Right now, there are no suspects, but Glasgow added,
And anyone who would do this to 6 living things is an incredibly dangerous person.
Will County Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and charges. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
One of the most famous uphill climbs at the Indiana Dunes National Park set to undergo an overhaul this year.
Northwest Indiana Times reports the Dune Succession Trail Boardwalk at West Beach is getting a makeover and will be closed after Labor Day this year. The roughly 270 plus boardwalk steps will be closed through the fall and winter months to reopen next spring. The staircase offers some of the most spectacular views of Lake Michigan and the Chicago skyline from the top. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
6:33, the ceasefire in the Middle East set to end on Wednesday, and even though the U.S. is sending a delegation for another round of peace talks, Iran says they may not attend at all.
There's no trust. There's anonymity. There's, hostage taking 1979. People have memories and they are long. And with how many killed on the first day, you had this new construct of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, more militarized. And the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard is a known terrorist. So they are negotiating with people that have been against the existence of Israel. It's been death to the U.S., the great Satan.
CBS News Middle East contributor Courtney Keeley. Well, President Trump's labor secretary leaving her post amid a series of allegations saying she abused her power. Lori Chavez-DeRemer had been facing a probe from the department's inspector general for potential misconduct. The investigation has already resulted in multiple of her 2 top staffers being put on administrative leave. Chavez-DeRemer marks the 3rd cabinet member to leave during the president's 2nd term. Well, a community in Louisiana.
Those are the kids that come here to buy reefer, those guys.
Weekend.
I know what they're here for, but there's no more drug dealing here.
Come to grips with massacre of 8 children carried out by a father who was separating from his wife and used an assault-style weapon, despite a 2019 felony firearms conviction.
It's devastating on the family, friends, people that know her.
Family member Lionel Pugh.
It's a lot.
Pugh says the woman in critical condition has a tough road ahead.
She gonna probably be traumatized because she also had a child that was, deceased.
Family member Francine Brown.
I pass by here all the time, and I see the kids out in the yard playing, and they were just happy children.
It has affected everyone around.
And we're just asking for prayers.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
We'll have an update of traffic, weather, and low gas prices coming up at 6:35.
Secure the rate? Love the return. At United Fidelity Bank, they make it easier than ever to start growing your money with confidence. Right now, you can take advantage of their high-yield CDs, including their 6-month term currently paying 4.20% annual percentage yield. It's a competitive rate designed to help your savings.
All right, we're going to keep moving. I might show you one more place, and we'll call it a night, right? For a Monday night. I'll try to hear some radio calls, too. But we got some more local news coming up.
10694. 10694.
Go see Harry and his team today to open your high-yield United Fidelity Bank CD at their Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street, or open your account anytime at UnitedFidelity.com. Rates subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to the standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
At EasyCare, every workday gets better with great food. Like that morning status meeting. Always better with bagels. And don't forget the coffee. Ops team working late? How about some Power Bowls to keep them going strong? Sandy's celebrating 10 years at the company. This calls for cupcakes. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater.
What's up, Brian?
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm. We never thought you'd ever have to use life insurance. But
I love you, Angel.
Signing up was fast and 100%. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
I love it. We all need to make a pothole app. Maybe, where's one? Hey, so one of you young guys know that app crap, right? Or make a TikTok something where we can report all the potholes and make them jump around like jumping beans and go after them. One of you young guys make a pothole thing, pothole tracker or something. We'll make it ourselves. We'll make it. You can name it. Maybe if you get rich, give me some money. All right? Make a pothole tracker. There you go. I love that. Right? What? Here, listen. We all work. We all do our things. Why you gotta be fake, man? Think about it. We pay the mayor to do his job. All the city workers, we get it. It's a city job. It's a union job. I get it. I was a city worker. I work at CPS. I worked at the, I get it. You work, you have your time off, and you can do and I get it. But listen, do a little bit, right? We get it. It was funny. I got a comment the other day on I think a Twitter thread. I think it was Twitter. It might have been on Facebook. I don't remember now. And someone said this, and I've been saying this for a few years too. Said, I'll take back the daily crook years any day. Because at least the dailies, and if you go, and I have the picture, I post it every so often. I was in the 10th Ward office before, and they got Old Man Daly's picture everywhere. But they have a sign there, service comes first. You get what that means? Kill the rats, clean the graffiti, clean the potholes, fix them up, put some plants out. Don't make sure they don't riot and tear up the downtown. Let the cops go do a few arrests, right? Service. Service. That's service. Instead, what do we have? Political theatrics, right? They do political theatrics all around us. That's all they do. He just got on the TV. I just showed you, right? I called in. I did a video on the pothole. They fixed the pothole because they don't want to see my videos. You do know I know Brandon Johnson, right? They watch my stuff. They do. I did this years ago. I would do garbage cans. This is even before Brandon was in power. I think it might have been when Rom was in power. That was on my old Facebook page. I would take videos of like really messed up stuff. I don't know what garbages or some other stuff. And I drive around and they come and pick it up. I'm telling you, we should invent something. Invent some kind of a pothole something, right? And maybe we have a contest. Maybe you do a TikTok contest. The biggest, deepest pothole, something. And we have some kind of I don't know, we give out prizes or something. I don't know how you do it. Somebody who knows how to do internet, you figure it out. There's a bunch of people who know how to do internet, right? You know internet? Like TikToks and Instagrams and whatever other stuff. We're not doing Grindr. We ain't doing Scruff. We ain't doing OnlyFans. We're not doing no porno, okay? We're not talking about porno. Potholes. That. We're talking about that in the street. We're not talking about no silly stuff, right? Look at what they all have on their trucks. I reported this. They all have political advertising on their trucks. Don't you see that there? That's what he does first. He'll put a political sign up before he fixes a pothole. Got that? That's what you got there. Here, let me show you this. We might see some rats over here. You want to see some rats? Rat tones. I got videos of the migrants when they were over here. I got videos of the migrants there. The migrant kids were playing there. I got videos. I should show you all of those videos. Right? You want to see some rats? There you go. Look at some rats.
Battery with a deadly weapon and reckless driving. My Martinez, News Radio.
There's rats in there.
WBBM.
Prosecutors in Southern California have charged the singer David with murder in the death of a 14-year-old girl. Comes after she was dismembered in the musician's Tesla last September. Here's CBS News correspondent Gwen Baumgartner.
Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman laid out the timeline of the case against Burke.
On April 23, 2025, as been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time, went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again.
Last September, authorities say the girl's dismembered and decomposed remains were found in 2 bags inside the front trunk of a Tesla.
David's lawyers maintain he is not responsible for the teen's death. Top trending stories and sports news coming up at 6:42.
Gas prices are higher than ever, and every penny counts at the pump. For years, WBBM News Radio has been watching gas prices so you don't have to. We're constantly tracking the lowest prices across the Chicago area. Our reporters, traffic team, and listeners work together to find the best deals near you. Listen for
Why am I showing you a dump? Why am I showing you a dump? This is the way the city operates, right? They got an open dump here. I got videos of the migrants playing in here with their kids. They were living there at the 1st District Police Station. It's right down the street. I used to sit here and take a break. I used to hit the migrant stuff. I'd sit here and then I'd go hit the Chinatown stuff, right? That's why I stopped here, right? You can dump stuff here. You can. This is a city dump. You can come here. If you got stuff to dump, this is where you can come, all right? That's why I also showed you. I like doing education. Remember, SubX.News is education, right? I can't just yap all day and do that stuff. And then again, see the stickers on the truck? How much did those stickers cost us? You know, they refused to tell me the price of all those stickers. They refuse. They don't want to tell me how much all those stickers cost. See those stickers? It's on every truck in the city, right? Oh man, they closed this off. I gotta turn around here. It used to be the exit right there. Look, the city workers don't pick up the garbage. They fly all around there. There's guys sitting in there, right? Look, one more time. You see the stickers on those trucks? Those are political stickers. See this here? There's garbage everywhere, but they have political stickers on their trucks. You get what happens. They don't like those political stickers. I talked to some city workers. I said, why you got that on your truck? You're not supposed to have it. They said, we know. But guess what? When the worker puts the sticker on his truck, when the worker puts the sticker on their truck, you see the sticker there? That's a political sticker. It's a political slogan. That's the mayor's political slogan on a truck that we pay for, right? When the worker puts it on and don't complain, guess what the worker can do, right? Guess what? They can sit his ass inside the office and leave the shit right there in the middle of the road. That's the exchange. Right? That's how much disrespect. That's how, yeah, you got it, Angel. That's how much disrespect they have for the city. That they'll put the sticker on, knowing Brandon, and then it won't bother them, but then they leave the garbage right in the middle of the damn street. You see that there? Right there. This is an office. This is where city workers are hanging out here. And they leave it dirty like that. You see that there? That's why I showed you that. That's the pothole, the wolf pack, right? And then you seen what? The poor firefighters with those busted up trucks. That's the sad part of this, right? That the people who work hard, police officers, firefighters, streets and sand. We have friends that are city workers. Those are good jobs. There's nothing wrong with being a city worker. We need city workers. The problem is when you have a corrupt mayor, a criminal mayor, right? I don't want to use some, I got my friend Angel on. I don't want to say some bad words in Spanish, right? But you know what I'm talking about. Then everybody else is corrupt.
Right? She was trying to set a new high score. All right, now partly sunny skies in Chicago.
Then we have everyone is corrupt. That's the problem, right? With our city around. We have a corrupt mayor that jumps around and makes wolf packs and don't fix it. What did we show you? We showed you the pothole. We showed you messed up fire trucks. We just showed you an open dump. We showed you cardboard boxes on State Street. Right? You just seen the video of did you guys see the video of 76th Street? Did I put it on, I don't know if I put it on Facebook yet. They were doing the what do you call it? The circles in the streets. On 76th and Ashland, they burned a car right in the middle of the street. Right in the middle of the street, 76th and Ashland, there's a video. I don't know about, I gotta watch what I put on Facebook because I get blocked all the time. I'll try to put it here. There's a video, 76th and Ashland. They were doing the car meet. They smashed the car and burned it in the middle of the street. Guess what? You know how many cops were there? None. None. No cops. No cops. Zero cops.
2385 Adam.
They burned a car in the middle of the street in the city of Chicago, and there was no cops around. How about that one? I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna figure out how to put it on Facebook so I don't get in trouble. Right? When I get home tonight, I got 2 things I gotta do tonight. I can't tell you the other thing. It's private. I gotta do some work in the house. I gotta do my chores as a husband, right? That's what I gotta do. That's the thing. But I'm gonna get this video and I'm gonna make it so it's legal for me to put it on the internet, on the Facebook, because Facebook is really weird on some of that stuff. And you're gonna see they burned a car in the middle of 76 and Ashland. Burned a car, burned it. And I'm gonna get all the radio calls, I'm gonna get the fire calls, I'm gonna show you that they allowed it to happen. Because why? Because the mayor is a fake ass, right? He allows it to happen, and everybody underneath him, all the workers know it. So when you have these lazy people that are working in the city, and I'm not saying all city workers are lazy. Absolutely not. I love city workers. I was a city worker. I have city workers that are all around me. I have family that are city workers. My family's a city worker. Got that? My family. I have family that's a federal worker, right? But when you have a crook, guess what? All the lazies say we don't have to do nothing. We can do the bare minimum. That's the problem, and that's where we're having the corruption. And why does Brandon do that? Because why? He can stay in power then. The longer he lets people do the minimum, guess what? The more they love him. And then what does he do? When election times comes up, it's going to be around November or December. They're going to have meetings. They might have had them in October. We used to have them in October and September. At the union, when the election year was coming up in May, we used to have our elections in May. At the teachers union, they'd have meetings in September at the staff. Say, look, we need to do blah, 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 blah. And we're under attack. And if we lose the election, you're all going to be fired. That's what they told. They used to tell us that in the meetings. They're going to come in and they're going to fire everybody because they don't like none of you guys. They're going to fire everybody. They do the same thing at City Hall. They do the same thing at City Hall. They're telling all those people, next year's an election, and if we lose, Trump is going to fire you. And what do you mean Trump's going to fire you? Trump's the president. That's what they're telling them, right? There you go, man. See that there? Look at that. Was that fixed? There ain't nothing fixed there, is it? Is there anything fixed? You don't see nothing fixed, do you? Do you see anything fixed here? You don't see nothing fixed, right? There you go, right? What? He's his third year in power now, right? SubX.News, 6:50 p.m., April 20th, 2026. There you go. There you go. So we showed you potholes. We showed you closed businesses, right? We showed you cardboard boxes on Ida B. Wells. We showed you fire trucks that have temporary numbers, right? Now what are you looking at? You're looking at what? You're looking at a homeless encampment under the bridge here, right? Right? That's what you're watching, right? That's exactly what you're watching. You're not watching any progress. You're not watching anything that gets fixed. Right? You're not watching any of that stuff. Right? Those are drug dealers, by the way. They steal drugs out of here. The migrants steal drugs out of here. Migrants are runners, right? They work for black guys. Right, there you go, right? See that? There's a tent over there. Look at all these tents. See all the tents? There you go. See that there? Look. Nice new tents, right? Nice new tents, right? How much did those tents cost? Why didn't you give those people... Think about this. Think about this. They tell you ICE and all of this stuff. Oh, I was going to talk about ICE, right? What did they say? What did they say about Cinco de Mayo? Which is another lie. I told you that's a lie, right? Because they had gang fighting during Cinco de Mayo. That my buddy Kyle Mazza videotaped the what? The gang fighting, right? That's why they canceled Cinco de Mayo. Because of the gang fighting right there on Cermak and Rockwell. There was a gunfight right there. And then they were shooting when the cops were by. I have the video. I'll put it up. So that's the other thing I want to say about the lying and the cheating, right? That Cinco de Mayo is canceled because of violence. It's not canceled because of ICE. This is why in the same media broadcast, they said it's moot. The judge said, I don't have to do a judicial order against ICE. Why? Because ICE ain't here no more. The judge said it on the same radio broadcast. That's how you know they lied. Today, you heard it. The judge says, I don't have to rule on ICE. Why? Because ICE ain't here no more. So now they say we're going to cancel Cinco de Mayo because of ICE. When a judge said ICE ain't here, it's moot. He said it on the radio. So that's the other thing I forgot to say, and it just popped in my head. So that's what I wanted to say there. So Now you see homelessness, potholes, lying about the potholes, lying about ICE. ICE has nothing to do with people. Oh, did you guys read the article about the 287 people that they released into the public? Right? How much effort and how much resources going into giving tents to homeless people rather than giving them housing or giving them a safe space to stay in? Well, we know for sure the NGO is making a lot of money off of this, paying a lot of salaries and getting money and buying tents and supplies here. Instead, they should probably take all that money, instead of giving it to the NGOs, and buy an apartment building and fix it up, put all these guys in it. What do you think about that idea? 6:50 p.m., April 20th, 2026. Let's get going. Then we're going to see the drug dealers over here, right? That's the problem we're having, right? We all work hard. They take our taxes. They take our money. Then they make us fight Mexican against white, black against Asian, Asian against Indian. They make us all fighting, right? Racism, dildos, transgenders, Gazas, Muslims. They make up all kinds of crap every single day. When you go to work and you go home, does you have any problems with your neighbors? Sometimes you might if they're too loud. Maybe they do some things you don't like, but then you figure it out. Maybe you yell at them. Maybe you have a little fight, and then you figure it out, right? You figure out your problems. We all figure it out. If you live in the city, you figure out your problems. And it don't matter if it's a white guy living next to you, or a black guy, or a Hispanic, or an Asian, poor, white, rich, gentrifier. I got gentrifiers in my neighborhood. I figure it out. I have to. There's some ambulance happening in front of us where the drug people are, right? I have to pull over here, right? I'm going to pull over here for a second. I'm uploading a video. So what do? They make us fight between each other, right? Between us all. Rich, poor, right? Colors, religions. You kind of get what I'm trying to say here? That we are getting ripped off every single day. The judge said there's no ICE in Chicago, yet the NGO that gets money from Brandon Johnson says, yeah, we're canceling because of ICE. But yet the judge said there's no ICE here. So who do you believe? Do you believe the NGO or do you believe the judge? The judge, that's who? A Democratic judge elected by the Democratic Party. That's a liberal judge. Every judge in Cook County is a liberal judge. They have to go through the Democratic Party to get elected. If you don't agree with their platform, you do not get elected. And if you go against the Democratic machine, you get unelected. That's a fact for a judge. You cannot get elected. I know one judge. I don't know if she's still a judge or a lawyer. Deidre Bauman. I don't know if you know her. I know her personally. I have her phone number. She fights all kinds of crazy stuff. But you know who she fights? She fights the government. She fights the government. She's a good person. She's a good lawyer. I think she would make a good judge. She's a social justice person, but believes in the right social justice, not right or left, the correct social justice about equality, about fairness. Guess what? She can't get elected because Democratic Party's against her. Why? Because she fights the city hall, right? That's how it works. That's how the city works. There's a machine. Why do I say all it is? Because Angel said, tell us, right? If you go against the machine, you don't get elected. If you go against the machine and say, don't put that sticker on my truck, guess what happens to you? You get fired. That's what's happening. And who's the machine now? It's the Chicago Teachers Union. That's who's the machine now. That's who's doing. We're going to end with watching what these guys do here, right? But I got to get my stuff ready because I don't want these... And then we'll finish up for tonight. That's enough of me talking and starting trouble, right? I should put on the radio.
And more peace talks said in Pakistan, though it's unclear if Iran will return to the table. More just ahead from CBS News. Sports second inning at Wrigley. Cubs and Phillies are scoreless. The White Sox off tonight. On Wall Street today, the Dow dropped 5 points. NASDAQ down 64. S&P 500 fell 17. AccuWeather forecast for this evening, clear to partly cloudy skies, a low 47 degrees. Right now, partly sunny, 56 degrees. CBS News covers the world at 7 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Wendy Gillette. A second round of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran is in jeopardy amid tensions over the Strait of Hormuz. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe from the White House.
The longer the strait remains blockaded, the longer there's no agreement between these two countries, the global economy is really going to begin to suffer. There's been some smart reporting today, especially now about how this is really causing acute pain in Asia, which will inevitably spread to the rest of the world. Not seen here necessarily just yet, but very well could be in the coming weeks, which will create even bigger political problems for this president should this war continue.
Oil shipping in the Strait of Hormuz is not the only concern. Pharmaceuticals in the U.S. could also be affected, including antibiotics. CBS News medical correspondent Celine Gounder.
Drugs that need to be kept cold are even more exposed. So that includes vaccines, insulin, cancer therapies.
A Trump administration official is resigning. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi has
The
more.
White House confirmed this just a short while ago that the Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer will be leaving the administration, going to the private sector. This is extremely notable because, just to put this in context, taking a step back, this is now the third administration official who has left in the last month or so.
A tourist was killed at a famed archaeological site in Mexico.
Mexican authorities say a gunman opened fire at the popular tourist destination, Teotihuacan. A Canadian woman was killed and 4 others injured before the shooter killed himself. Mexico's president
doing a
said federal
drug deal
and state
right
security
there.
forces were being deployed to the site.
The guy's doing a drug deal right
was
there. You want me to show you guys? They're doing drug deals all around here. Look at this. What is this guy right here?
Whose legal name is David Burke.
They're doing drug deals all around here, man.
14-year-old Celeste Rivas was found dismembered in his car last year. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Los Angeles.
Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hoffman.
They're doing drug deals all here. I just seen a guy doing a drug deal behind me. Right in the open, and it's a city worker right there letting them do the drug deals. Got that? That's how it's corrupt in our city, right? And if you say anything, the city worker will say you're anti blah, 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 right?
Last September, authorities say the girl's dismembered and decomposed remains were found
There you go, right?
inside the front trunk of a Tesla. A federal jury in North Carolina.
There you go, drug dealing right there, right in front of your eyeballs.
To a woman who claims
There you
the
go,
driver
right?
sexually assaulted her. Earlier this year, another jury.
I'll show you where the guys are doing drug dealing, right? Yeah, they're doing drug. That's a drug dealer in the white right there.
On Wall Street, stocks lost.
Let me show you the other
This
drug dealer,
is
right?
CBS News.
So the guy after the bus stop is dealing drugs. The guy with the cigarette in his mouth, he's a drug dealer right there. You see that guy with the cigarette in his mouth? He's a drug dealer right there, that guy. He's selling drugs right there. Right there. And they put the drugs in the cigarettes. Got that? That's what they're doing. Got that? And what did I always say? Think about this over here. That's the city shelter, right?
Partly cloudy skies for the rest of the night, down to below.
They can put all those guys, and they can put tables back here.
Clouds, however, we'll see the potential for thunderstorms late.
And they can let those dudes hang out back here and deal all those drugs all back here. Whatever, who cares, right? And booze and whatever they want to do.
56 degrees.
See there? This is all the property here where it used to be a migrant shelter. Now it's a homeless shelter.
Story here on News Radio WBBM. Chicago crews are just beginning their investigation into what sparked a fire that destroyed 3 homes on the city's west side today.
See down there?
WBBM political
But they
editor
don't.
Jeff Buckles with the story.
But instead,
Harris's family has lived in the wood frame house here on Fulton Avenue.
But instead, they put those people where? On the street. That guy in the white that was sitting down, that guy is a migrant. Those are migrants there. That guy's been selling drugs for 3 years in the city of Chicago. He's one of those guys they arrest all the time and let him go. And I'm almost sure that the feds got detainers on all these guys. But yet they're letting them loose. Got that? You're watching drug dealing right now. That's what you're watching.
That's all that matters. Everybody say
By the 23rd Street shelter. It's 7:04 p.m.
I haven't a clue. I don't have a clue yet.
We're in West Garfield Park. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Chicago Public Schools and the Teachers Union seeing eye to eye on the designation of May Day as an optional civic engagement day this year. However, not all parents are on board.
We are here to demand an end to the political indoctrination of our children.
CPS parent Judy Velez.
That guy's dealing drugs there. And then they're dealing drugs over here, right? They're dealing drugs right there. That's all drug tents. That's all drug dealing right there. Look at that.
Not only does having May 1st off impact academic
There you go.
progress, but
SubX.News, 7:05 p.m. Drug dealing at 23rd and Halsted.
Our classrooms should never be used as political battlegrounds. Our students are students. They're not props for anyone's agenda. Pure and simple. Our children are not anyone's political pawns.
The parents have brought on some legal muscle, and attorney Bill Quinlan, who says if clarification as to May Day's altered curriculum is not provided by the end of the Chicago Board of Education meeting this coming Thursday, an assessment will be made on what legal action to take, if any.
We need to understand what is the plan for May 1st, if there is a plan.
In Pilsen, Brandon Eisen, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
A faculty strike at a Central Illinois university is now on pause.
Professors are back in the classroom after reaching a tentative deal with the University
Open air
of Illinois
drug
Springfield
dealing at
late last
23rd and
night.
Halsted.
Walkout lasted 11 days,
No one's doing
and now
nothing
shifts
about
to a
it.
vote by union
7
members later this
p.m.,
week.
April 20th,
If both the faculty
2026.
and university approve the agreement, it would take effect right away. For now, the terms are still under wraps, but leaders say the decision to return was driven by concern over lost class time as the semester winds down. Rachel Pearson, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
There's good news for Far North Side residents. A Trader Joe's finally being planned for the area.
50th Ward Alderman Deborah Silverstein confirmed that Trader Joe's has applied for building permits to open a new store at the Lincoln Village Shopping Center near Lincoln and McCormick. It's good news for Westridge neighbors who petitioned for a Trader Joe's to open back in 2020 at the former Baker Square spot at Western and Toohey Avenues. Silverstein says it will take some time before the store is ready to open and did not announce an estimated opening date. This is the 4th new Chicago location Trader Joe's has announced since October. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Summer sign-ups for Chicago Park District programs open this week. Registration is already open for parks west of California Avenue. If you reside near a park east of California, enrollment begins tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. In-person sign-ups vary by park and kick off Saturday the 25th. Besides summer day camps, this year's lineup features walking clubs, parent and tot gymnastics, senior swim classes, pickleball, and more. The State Commission will meet this week to discuss how to address racial injustices for Black Illinoisans.
After publishing its report on racial inequality, the Illinois African Descent Citizens Reparations Commission will hold a public hearing to address lasting harms of slavery and discuss ways to move forward with reparations in our state through featured expert speakers and public testimony. The meeting will go over ongoing disparities in housing, education, health, public safety, and economic opportunity affecting Black Illinoisans descended from slavery. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
7:08, time now for traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by Plumbers 911.
So, are we going to pay the Japanese that were in internment camps during World War II? Are we going to pay the Irish that were abused when they came over here from Ireland? Are we going to pay the Eastern Europeans and the Slavs that were spit on by the Anglos when they came over here? Are we going to pay the American Indians for losing their land in some instances? Some gave it up, some lost it. Do you see how this spirals out of control? So if we're a nation of freedom and we believe in equal rights and equal protection, there's an equal protection clause in the Constitution. That in itself of what they're doing is illegal. Because you should talk about harm to all people, to all immigrants, to all people who are oppressed. Anyone who is in an oppressed class should what? Get a reparation by the person who oppressed them. The person who oppressed that other person, the company that I believe here, let's get this right. I believe in reparations. I believe in them. I think all black people who were slaves should get a reparations from the slave master, from the person who sold them into slavery. The African countries, they can trace that all the way back to Africa. They have the paperwork. Everybody knows this, right? Everybody knows the slave trade is from Africa, right? That there's African countries that actually got super rich during the slave trade. It's traced back there, and then they sold it to the dudes on the boats. The guys with the boats came to Africa and said, we need blah, blah, blah slaves. And I said, okay. And they sold it. The slaves were sold in Africa to white people or to whoever was running those boats. I don't know that good, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. So the slaves were sold to white people. White people didn't go chasing people in Africa. They didn't do that. They came to the shoreline of Africa, and there was a whole bunch of slave trades from African nations. From African nations who sold blacks who got caught, usually in tribal wars. They were prisoners, right? They had tribal wars. And when you got caught in the war or whatever you were having, you became a slave. That happened over the years. And then what happened? You got sold, and you got thrown on a ship, and then you got brought here, and then you were sold again, right? That's how you were a commodity, which, shouldn't be happening. That's here, I'm going to say this. Europe abolished slavery long before anybody did. Europeans, the white people, the bad people, the bad white people. Look it up. Look up the history. We didn't have slavery in Europe. Not my people, not the Eastern Europeans. There was some form of serfdom, an apprenticeship, yes, but slavery didn't exist where I come from. Slavery wasn't around, man. Maybe in the thousands, back in before the Crusades, maybe. But we don't know what slavery is where we're at. We didn't have slavery. We don't do that. Where I'm from, we don't do slavery. I have nothing to do with that stuff. Not my color, not my skin, not my people, not the Slavs. We don't do slavery, man. Look it up. You can look it up, man. I ain't BSing right now. So don't be putting that stuff on me. So secondly, I do believe in reparations. I believe so. If you were enslaved, you need to get your money for all the work you were put through. Meaning, the person who bought you in America needs to pay. If they paid $100 for you and your family, now we get extrapolated out. How much is that worth to get your freedom? How much did they make off of your ancestors in their businesses, whether it's a plantation or a factory or whatever? So that's the second part. Who bought you? And then how much money they made off you. That's the first part of reparations we have to figure out. Who bought them in America and how much money did they make? Second part of reparations, there's multiple parts of reparations. Who sold you in Africa? What person sold you into slavery from Africa? What person in Africa took that human being, however way it happened, through warfare, tribalism, maybe you were indentured, who knows? A lot of the Eastern Europeans, not too many of us, that was more of an Irish thing, and the Chinese, right, were indentured servants. They were taken, and they were sold, and they did a lot of work on the West Coast in our society, right, in American society. Or they came here and they got a free boat ride. They said, look, you can go to America, but this is an expensive trip. Now you're going to work for us for 5 or 10 years. That's a lot of the Chinese came here. Some were indentured. A lot of Europeans were indentured. Africans were enslaved. So we got 2 parts of reparations. Who bought you in America? And how much did they make off you? That's one part. Second part of reparations for black people. I'm talking about black people right now, right? There's other issues going on with other thing. And then I'm going to finish, right? I want everybody to know that what SubX and what Dr. John Kugler believes in. I believe in reparations. I do believe in them. I do. And slavery is wrong. It's not right. Every slave has a right, and the natural right of a slave is to kill his slave master. I believe in that. Slavery is wrong, and it shouldn't happen. Period. Period. That's my stance. I believe in reparations. Period. You can put that anywhere you want. Reparations need to be paid by the guy who bought them in America, and how much did he make off of them, and figure that out, right? There was a famous case in California where they stole some land from some black people, an association on the lake, and they had to pay the family $20 million because that's how much the property is worth. And that's true. That's nice. That's how it should be. If there's some stuff like that, you need to take care of it, right? The second part of reparations is you got to figure out who sold them into slavery from Africa. That's the only way this is going to work. It won't work any other way. Because then there's no what? No accountability, no consequences, and no deterrence. You didn't get here. I'm going to tell you, my black brothers and sisters, you didn't get here to America because of a white man. You got here because of a black man. You got into this country because of black people. Africans. That's why you got here. Someone sold you into slavery. So when you have these discussions on slaveries and all these hearings, some hearings coming up the 25th, 26th, we'll post it. I'm not afraid of that. I ain't absolutely afraid of that. There should be reparations. But everyone that was involved in that kind of stuff needs to take accountability. There needs to be consequences, and there needs to be deterrence. Meaning deterrence that don't happen ever again, that whatever you're thinking in your brain, that it's okay and I'm to hide that I was a slave owner, I sold you into slavery and I'm in Africa now. You need to make sure that never happens again, and they pay for that stuff. That's the truth. That's what I believe in. That's how we fix bad issues in our country, right? Then you can say we fixed it, right? But I'm going to say this. Chicago is not a slave city. It never had slaves in this city. See, I don't understand. And this is how I'm going to end this broadcast. Who invented Chicago? Who invented Chicago, they say, right? There's some back and forth on it, but he was basically the first guy around. He left, right, a little bit. DuSable. Supposedly a black man. They'd say he wasn't really black, he was Caribbean. And he was French. And he was a colonizer. So what I don't understand, and it goes back to the fakeness of the mayor, right? Because he's a lying, fake creep, right? A leech, I used to call him. He's a leech, right? And he lies every time he talks. So think about this, and we're going to end the broadcast here. Mizidor. How does a city that was invented by a black man have to pay black people for slavery? Isn't that the conceptualization of the left or the Marxist or whoever these people are that are running our city? I call them terrorists. They're terrorists. They're domestic terrorists. The guys that are in City Hall are domestic. They're connected to Bill Ayers. I don't want to get on that talk tonight. Let's finish up with this reparations talk. The idea is what? DuSable invented Chicago. Right? DuSable invented Chicago. DuSable was a black man. So you're saying that the black man enslaved the black people, which is the truth. The black man enslaved his own people and sold them into slavery. And now if you listen to what Brandon Johnson says, I'm going to get reparations. From who? Who are you going to get reparations from? You got to get them from black people. And that is part 2 of what we'll talk about maybe later in the week or a few weeks. Because I've already been talking about that. How they're getting reparations from black people. That's what's happening. I'll give you a little hint. They're stealing grandma and grandpa's land over in Inglewood. Right? And it's not the people that are moving in, the Hispanics and the hardworking people that are fixing these houses. It's the developers and the gangbangers and the people who put the drugs into those neighborhoods that harmed all those black people over the years that bought all those houses, and they're stealing them from them. Yeah, put one and one together. You'll figure out what's going on this year. I'm going to get out of here. That's enough talking to me. I have a bunch of stuff to do at home. I got a few hours to do it. I thank you for listening to me. Again, I believe in reparations. I believe if you were a slave and you were enslaved, you need to take care of your business. You should get on these reparations committee. You should make a Freedmen's Bureau. I believe in that, like the Indians. And make yourself whole. Figure out who bought you and who sold you. Who sold you into slavery? And why would the mayor, a black mayor, say Chicago should pay when a black man invented Chicago? That's your answer there, right? The mayor of Chicago, a black man, says a black man invented Chicago and Chicago should pay reparations. That's your answer. That's all I got. It's pretty heavy. I usually don't like doing that, but I had to put it out there because this guy's the whack job that we got married. He says all kinds of things and we have to get it straight. And I want to put it on there. Yes, Angel, we're all free people. We fight for our families. We do what's right. That's what the right person who works hard with his hands and his back do. There's people who are of all different races. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Southeast Asian, Indian, Anglos, Slavs, Russians, Ukrainians, Japanese, Chinese, Koreans, South Americans, Brazilians, even Venezuelans. Brazilians, Argentinians, Ecuadorians, like Byron Shitsko. Byron Shitsko's Ecuadorian. He ain't no Mexican. He pretends to be a Mexican. He's Ecuadorian. Kenyans, people from Ghana, from Australia, New Zealand, wherever you're from, man, we're all free. And if someone enslaved you, you need to figure out how to get that money from that slave master, don't you? Yeah, don't get confused by guys like Brandon Johnson. He's a thief, all right? Take it easy. That's all I got. SubX.News, over and out. 7:21 p.m., April 20th, 2026. Happy Weed Day for those of you who smoke weed. Don't be smoking it in public because I don't like that. Smoke it in your house or smoke it in your backyard. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And have a good night. Over and out. It's 7:22 p.m., April 20th, 2026. SubX.News, sign off. I love everybody. Appreciate you all. Hope you had a good time. I hope you had a good show. If something comes up, you know I'll post it. I'll probably post that thing about that burned out car on 76 and Ashland, all right? I'm going to try to do it so I don't get in trouble, okay? Because it's got some bad stuff on there. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.